Yes. Go Birds!
This is Jordan Lundy of Lundy Law. Every year, millions of people are hurt in car accidents. The numbers are overwhelming. But if you're injured in an accident, don't feel overwhelmed. Call Lundy Law. We'll remove the stress and work quickly to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. We hope we never meet because of an accident, but if we do, we're here for you. Remember our name, Lundy Law, your injury lawyers. Call 1-800-LUNDY-LAW or visit lundylaw.com.
Skip the candlelight pasta and do date night differently. F1 Arcade is part upscale bar, part off-the-track racing experience. You and your date can grab craft cocktails, order shareable plates, and then hop into a simulator and see who really drives the relationship. Fast tracks, good vibes, and even better company? Win or lose, you're both in for an unforgettable night. Visit F1 Arcade, located at 1330 Chestnut Street in Center City, or book your experience now at f1arcade.com.
Find what you love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Walk right through the door. It's all here to explore. With guides in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Find what you love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine and More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
WPEN and WPEN HD1 Burlington, Philadelphia. A Beasley Media Group station. Broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studios. Powering possibilities. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com. Mike Missanelli. Philadelphia Sports Talk. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Good morning, everybody. Mike Missanelli Show, start of another week. Beautiful summer day, should be. I am doing this show today with a wet ass. I thought I'd get this out of the way. Ray Dunn's with me. Ray, last night, it was hot. I was at the shore. I left the crack of the windows open in my car and forgotten during the night a monster thunderstorm came rushing through and wet my seat.
What?
Yeah, so driving in today, I've absorbed, and I have a condition called wet ass.
That's going to be very comfortable for 4 hours.
It's not very comfortable. Well, we proceed anyway with the Phillies, who... Well, two really good pitching performances and a hitting display. They take 2 or 3 from the Braves, and I can't help but look at the Braves and I go, oh, my God, they need a jolt. They need to fire the skipper. They need to do something. Those guys don't even play anymore for them. And they got some lazy asses on that team right now, like especially Ozzie Albies. He looks like he's given up. But anyway, I don't want to take away anything from the Phils. Ranger Suarez, who really had nothing yesterday. His velocity was down like 4 miles per hour and pitched a gem, a masterpiece. That is a guy who knows how to pitch. And I'm looking at him pitch, and I'm looking at this streak he's got going, and I'm going, there's no way that they're going to be able to sign him. And I wish they would, because I'd love to keep this pitching staff intact, but he's going to get big money, man. And I guess he's earned it, the way he's pitched. So the Phillies have a gem right now in their rotation with Ranger Suarez, amongst other gems, and that's going to have to carry them through. And, I was thinking about this today because I heard Andrew on the morning show say that he's going to the game tonight. They have a series against the Padres, which will be tough. And he just wants to go to a game and enjoy a game without thinking about the ramifications or what the team has at stake, which is bigger than an individual game. Like it or not, the Phillies have set themselves up as a contend or bust team. And therefore, we can't enjoy each game. When the Phillies have set us up to win something, you can't enjoy game to game and go, oh, you know what? It's just nice going to the ballpark and seeing a baseball game and rooting them on. And if they win, they win. They lose, they lose. Every game with this Phillies team has a painstaking connection because all we're considering is whether they can do anything with this team. It really doesn't matter from game to game, does it? Can we enjoy game to game? When they lose, we're devastated. When they lose, the reaction is, you know what, they can't get it done. And when they win, it's like, maybe they can get it done. It's never, the game was a beautiful thing for that particular Sunday. And that's unfortunate, but that's the way it is. So I'm asking you, which is the truer fan? Is the truer fan the one that appreciates game to game, or is the truer fan the one that looks at a game as like a domino connection to the rest of the season on whether they can win or not? And I'm saying that the truer fan is the latter. The truer fan isn't the nicey goes to watch the ball game and it gets entertained by a ball game. The truer fan is this team has taken a step down on the rung each year since they went to the World Series. The next year, they lost in the World Series. The next year, they lost to the NLCS. The next year, they didn't even get to the NLCS. So what is this season? Are we supposed to enjoy game to game? Ray, what do you think of that? Who is the truer fan?
Who is the truer fan?
Who is the truer fan? The one that really gets it. Is it the one that says, no, we have to appreciate the season. We have to appreciate the ball game, each ball game in the regular season. Or is it the fan that goes, you know what, it's nice that they won this game. What's it mean for the long haul?
I like being the one that enjoys the fact the season's happening. I really do, because especially with the bad baseball you were subjected to for a decade, to watch a team that you are nitpicking every little thing about because you think it has a chance, I think there is an appreciation for the one that appreciates the marathon is, I think, going to get more out of the season than the person's like, they won, but what does it really matter to me? Like, I think you just get more out of it appreciating the ride that you're on, and you can still nitpick it while you're there.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's impossible to do that because the Phillies have set you up differently.
Oh, yeah. No, this year's been more difficult for that. Like, yesterday they went 2-1, and usually I'm just, hey, like,
you're looking at their lack of offense.
Yep. Over the week.
Because, why are you looking at the lack of offense? Because of the long haul.
Correct.
And the question of whether they can win something.
But I don't want to be wired that way,
I get
Mike.
it. But in a way, their success has spoiled the game-to-game appreciation of the baseball team.
Yes.
Okay, so the truer fan is not the one that appreciates the game-to-game of a regular season. The truer fan is the one that says, okay, let's see you take that and move it on to bigger things where you can actually win something. Because we've seen the other.
Yeah, but I would say that the other side of this coin would be the fan that's so wrapped up in just getting the end result. The seasons where you don't feel that there is any end result there for you. What are you there for? If you're not?
That's where you enjoy game to game. When you know they're not a contender, that's when you can enjoy game to game. When they're a contender, you can't enjoy game to game.
Well, you can try to enjoy game to game. Like, I enjoy watching Ranger Suarez pitch. That's a fun part of my day.
It's fun, but at the end you go, okay, is the rotation good enough to win something? That's the question you come up. Yeah, what Ranger did was nice, but is their rotation good enough to overcome the fact that they're weak in certain areas? That's all we consider.
I know, but I'm with Andrew.
I know you don't want to think that way, but that's the reality of it is now. That the only thing we consider, Ranger Suarez, it was a beautiful game. He entertained me on a Sunday afternoon. What does it mean for the end?
But I want to enjoy the night, Mike. I want to go down to the ballpark, have a couple, and get a hot dog and enjoy.
How realistic is it that you can do that, especially for the people in this business?
Well, yeah, this business makes it impossible.
But I'm just thinking, like the everyday fan. I hear it all the time. I see all the tweets. I see. Yeah, okay, but that's great. But what about this? Kepler's playing left field right now, and he's complaining. But what's that mean for the team? All these little things that add up to whether they can win the big prize. And they set you up for this. The team did. The organization did. And I would love to sit here and go, whoa, what the golly gee, what was so wonderful yesterday when they won a game on a matinee, and it was a beautiful thing, and they got a great pitching performance, and it was wonderful, and I'm going to wake up Monday morning smiling. It's not that. It's, okay, we're on hold for the bigger thing later on.
Yeah, but it did make my Sunday a lot nicer.
Of course.
I had a nice little smile walking around the neighborhood last night.
For how long?
For the rest of the night.
Yeah, you wake up today, what are we talking about?
Whether or not the Phillies could do something important.
Exactly. And that's the bottom line. And there's nothing wrong with that. I got to be honest with you. There's nothing wrong with being a fan that looks at that way. Because we now expect excellence. They build up a team that teased you into maybe this team can win a World Series. So you can't just abandon that now and just enjoy, oh, they won a game yesterday. They won the series 2-1. That's terrific.
Okay, don't worry about it. Enjoy the win, man.
That's what I'm saying, Andy. You can't enjoy the win. When you're set up to win a whole thing, you can't enjoy a win.
I did yesterday. It was fun. It was nice. They won the game.
I did too, but I know what the reality of it is. I love watching a great pitching performance. I don't know how he got it done, to be honest with you. I mean, that dude's control had to be so pinpoint yesterday, losing 4 miles per hour on his pitches. I don't know how he got it done, but that's guile and that's pitching, and that's a beautiful thing. And I came to 2 conclusions. A, what's it mean for the long haul? Because to me, they still have the same weaknesses. And B, they can't possibly sign Ranger Suarez next year. The 2 conclusions I came to. The 2 realistic things that pop out of me were that.
My biggest conclusion is I regret not getting the Ranger jersey sooner because it's going to mean nothing in 9 months.
Well, there you go. You can't get it now.
No, I can't. Or at this point, will it be a collector's thing?
All right, so what I want to talk about this. Who is the truer fan? Is it the truer fan that enjoys the regular season from game to game, or is the truer fan these days, today, the fan that has to look at the long haul and ask yourself the question after every game, whether this is going to be good enough to win something, a championship? 610-632-0975 is how you get into the show. We got all kinds of other stuff to talk about, including the Sixers moves and Kelly Oubre. Yay! Kelly Oubre opted in, right? Yeah, get excited.
Whether you like
and
it or
Eric
not.
Gordon did not. Oh, no. Mike Missanelli show continues.
The summer.
That's right. Hit the breaking news sounder.
Breaking sports news from 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Major news here. This city's been lobbying it, and the fans have been lobbying for a long time. The WNBA has announced that Philadelphia has been awarded a team. It'll be the WNBA's 18th team. It's subject, of course, to the boards of governors' approval in both the W and the NBA. The team is set to begin play in the 2030 season. Now, that's a long way away, man. So anything can happen. It'll be a new arena, and this will be operated by the Harris Blitzer Sports and Entertainment Group. Comcast will hold a minority stake. So there you go. So maybe that was part of the deal when they decided to split the revenue with the Flyers and the Sixers in the new arena. Okay, we'll do that, but you got to give me a WNBA franchise. I'm sure that was behind the scenes what they were being talked about. And then we have a comment from Josh Harris. I love the comments from Josh Harris. Philadelphia is one of the most storied basketball cities in the world, and our region is home to the greatest women's players and coaches to ever grace the hardwood, as well as the teams in Washington, which I love, and also the teams at the Jersey Devils, which I also. No, he didn't say that. I added that into the quote. It's only right that this city, along with Jersey and along with Washington, finally gets the WNBA franchise it deserves, and we're humbled to help usher in a new era of Philadelphia basketball. Thanks to my partners, David Blitzer, David Adelman, Brian Roberts, and the team at Comcast, and Governor Shapiro and Mayor Sherelle Parker for the collective leadership. So, congratulations. Now, I will bet you dollars to donuts that by then they will have made an offer that she can't refuse to Dawn Staley to be the head basketball coach of this new team. We don't have a nickname for it. I guess they'll have some kind of a contest to name it. But, Ray, your thoughts. The W is coming to Philly.
I mean, this is fantastic, one, for the city and for the league. I mean, the league's profile has grown over the last couple of years. The fact that Philadelphia has been a sideline as a major market has been unfortunate over the last couple of years. I know the arena deal here was something that I think they wanted more dates in whatever arena that they could put forth, and this will be something that fills up that summer calendar. And obviously, for a lot of fans in the city, I know there's the group, the Watch Party. Philly does a lot of women's sports watch parties. That's very invested and very intrigued in getting this to happen. So I think for a lot of people, this is a massive day, and it's a big day for the city to get this team because, again, so many sports towns that are not to the level of this sports town have been in on the W at this point. It's good to see Philadelphia get in on it.
All right, so Harris Blitzer Sports, they add another little rung to the ladder here. Sixers, Devils, Washington Commanders, Joe Gibbs Racing, Crystal Palace of the English Premier League. What could be next, do you think?
I don't know, but I will say to you, I don't think you're getting Dawn Staley as the coach.
No?
I don't think so.
Why not?
She's talked a million times about wanting to be on ownership, so I'd imagine she probably has a percentage stake in this.
Okay.
And that she doesn't want to coach.
Why would she want to coach? She's born to coach. Why can't she have a stake and coach?
It is interesting. I do think her new South Carolina deal is up around that time, but that could also be her being done with coaching and just being ready to be.
I don't think so, man.
In that arena.
I think the next challenge for her, coach a Philadelphia team right here. They will make her an offer she can't refuse, Ray.
Well, if she's a part of ownership, how would that even work? To make her
is she a part of ownership?
That's what she said she's wanted to be, and she's been a part of lobbying for this.
I don't see it here.
Well, I mean, I don't think, compared to Comcast and Harris Blitzer Sports Entertainment, I don't think she's claiming that big of a stake. But I would imagine she's at least got something to do with this because she's been lobbying for it.
All right. Well, then make her the coach and part owner. Right? No? Is that no? You can't do that by league bylaws?
Well, no, I'm just saying, if you're making her an offer she can't refuse and she's already a part of the ownership, she's going to get that revenue either way. If I were her, I'd just, hey, I'm owner, I'm hanging out, I'm helping out the team however I can. I don't have to go on the whole travel coaching thing.
I think she would embrace that next challenge. Unlike Jay Wright, I think Dawn Staley would love to coach in a pro league.
Hey, I'm not against it. You kidding me? The Temple guy and me.
There you go.
Yeah, you go, Dawn Staley. You coach wherever you want.
She'll be done with that
the Sixers
South
and the
Carolina
WNBA
thing by then, right? Coming back home, what a story it would be.
It'd be great to have her back on.
All right, so there you go. Meanwhile, back to the Phillies. Are you a true fan if you don't enjoy every game of a season and think it's so wonderful and go down there? I love going down there to get my hot dog and my beer, which was what Andrew said today. He's going with his pop. Can you put it aside for one day? If you're in this business, can you put it aside for one day and just enjoy a game? And I say no. I'm obsessed with the game that leads to bigger things. Things I see in a game that I can project to bigger things.
Yeah, but it's fun to just enjoy a ball game. Go down there for an afternoon, especially when you know it's a 162 marathon. If you're down there just enjoying a couple, having something good to eat, hanging out, enjoying a game, how could you? You could suspend belief and suspend the conversation for a night.
I'm saying that's a nice experience. I always enjoy when I go down there, but the result always makes me think of what's down the road, whether they win or lose. It's like, okay, what does that mean for the big picture when we get to October?
So I went Sunday night when they beat the Mets, and they took 2 or 3 from the Mets. And I remember walking out of that place, and I texted my buddy. I was like, I've got some dangerously positive thoughts right now walking out here. Like, I'm feeling great. I enjoyed it. And, he immediately started hitting me with the big view about this team.
Well, what were my thoughts when that happened? If you remember the next show, I said, what did I say? I said, I think they're better than the Mets. When I compared both lineups, I think they're better than the Mets. Now, why would I say that? I say that because of the big picture, whether they can get a number 1 or 2 seed. That's why I said they're better than the Mets. So everything projects to that moment in my world.
Yeah,
I just didn't
that.
say, wow, they took 2 and 3 of the Mets. That was entertaining. I go, they took 2 and 3 of the Mets. To me, that proves they're better. They have a better lineup than the Mets, which means they get a better seed than the Mets in the playoffs.
I understand what you're saying, but that's your takeaway 12 hours later. Where I was going with that is that when in the back and forth with my friend, I was like, I'm going to wake up tomorrow with the same big picture thoughts, but I'm able to suspend them for the night because I just enjoyed a great baseball game.
That's good. I can't suspend them.
When I wake up and you get that show sheet at 7 something in the morning.
I can't suspend it. They won yesterday with a great pitching performance, and I go, the Braves stink. They're out of the playoff picture. What does that mean? How good are the Phillies for the big playoff picture? That's the way I looked at it. I swear to God, I'm looking at it going, well, okay, what's that mean? Well, it means maybe their Braves have no chance to get in the playoffs. They're done. They look like a done team. They used to be viable. They're done. So I'll take that team right off of the list of contenders that may be able to beat them in the playoffs. That's what I do. I'm obsessed with it. And they made me this way. Nobody but the Phillies made me this way. They set me up for this. 610-632-0975. And people thinking the same as I am. We're going to get to the text board and your phone calls after this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
So 2 or 3 in Atlanta. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. It's brought to you by Groundworks, your expert for basement waterproofing and foundation repair since 1997. Book your free inspection at groundworks.com. Phillies snuck by the Braves 2-1 on Sunday afternoon after another shutdown performance from Ranger Suarez. 7 innings, 1 run ball, lowered his ERA to 2 for the season. Since May 10th, he's got the lowest ERA in baseball at 1.10. The win yesterday for the Phillies gave them 2 of 3 over the Braves, where they open up a 3-game set against the Padres tonight. 6:35 first pitch. Zach Wheeler matched up Mitch Waldron on the mound. In big basketball news in the city, the WNBA is coming to Philadelphia. Philadelphia getting an expansion team in 2030. It'll be the 18th team in the W. So the Philadelphia market enters the W. And looking elsewhere in the basketball world in Philadelphia, with the draft in the rear view, we got a flurry of 76ers moves over the weekend. Kelly Oubre, Andre Drummond opted into their player options. Eric Gordon declined his player option. There is mutual interest in him coming back. Justice Edwards got a 3-year deal from the 76ers, and Quentin Grimes got his qualifying offer as he's a restricted free agent. The Flyers had the NHL draft of the weekend. First-round selections, Porter Mortone and Jack Nesbitt headline a 9-player draft class, and the Union's 11 MLS match unbeaten streak ended Sunday with a 1-0 loss to the Columbus Crew. This update's also brought to you by Mattress Firm. Mattress Firm's July 4th sale is your chance to reclaim your restless nights and upgrade to a premium mattress. Get matched and sleep at night. I'm Ray Dunn, your home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Time when you want to bet $1 million on the Phillies on the money line, it'd be tonight. Zach Wheeler against Matt Waldron. Matt Waldron has been with 3 minor league teams this year. He was coming off a 60-day DL. He's a knuckleballer. The Padres must be really desperate. They bring this guy up in the minor leagues. He was in it was at El Paso. Pitched 5 games in El Paso AAA, but he had started out in rookie ball to go on his comeback trail. So look for a knuckler tonight, right?
Yeah, knuckleballer against this lineup.
The Phillies are you think he's going to last?
Hey, man,
you throw the knuckleball for strikes the whole time.
2 realities here. He doesn't make it 2 innings, and this offense looks fixed. Or he goes 7 shutout, and tomorrow we have a hell of a show on our hands.
I don't think he's thrown 7 innings ever this year yet.
And every time it's a random dude that we've never heard of that I have no idea why he shuts them out and he finds a way.
He pitched 22 innings in AAA, 6 innings in AA, and an inning and 2/3 in rookie ball.
And some way, somehow, man. Some way, somehow.
His whip is terrible.
Yeah, I don't know what
The Phillies are minus 221 tonight. That almost seems low.
My God. Do we have to play this game?
Minus 225 they are.
Do we have to play this one?
I would say, if I'm the Padres, I go, fellas, you want to take the night off? We'll take an L.
Yeah.
Really, do we have to play this game?
No wonder Salciunas wants to enjoy tonight's game. He's going to watch it win 10-0.
Watch the knuckleball. Your head's going like this the whole time. Come on, man. What's going on with the Padres? They've fallen off the map.
They're fine.
They're fine?
Yeah. Big picture.
They trail the Phillies by a lot these days.
Well, a lot of teams trail the Phillies by a lot.
All right.
Why we should enjoy night in and night out what we're getting from this team.
That's right. Let's enjoy the win.
Just enjoy
tonight,
the win,
just go down to the ballpark tonight, enjoy the win. When they beat up the Padres and throwing a knuckleballer who's been in the minor leagues off the 60-day DL.
Okay, don't worry about it. Enjoy the win, man.
All right, let's go to Greg in Bethlehem checking in. Oh, yeah, the big news tonight could be Bryce Harper's return. We'll look for the lineup being posted. Greg, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Good morning, gentlemen.
What's up, Greg?
Well, just to address the discussion so far, I think you can be an avid fan, I am, and still be critical where appropriate, which tempers your optimism a little bit. But, I don't think the two are mutually exclusive. But as far as Bryce goes, we've all been salivating for his return, and I'm pretty sure he has tendonitis, recurrent tendonitis, because he doesn't have any structural damage, they say. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking he comes back. I'd be happy if he plays 1 game per series until the All-Star break, because you got to take it slow with that.
Yeah, but that's going to mess up your timing as a hitter. You just can't show up and hit. You got to get regular at-bats.
That's the problem. I just don't.
If he can't get regular at-bats, there's no reason to play him. Seriously, you got to get a series of at-bats to get your groove back. He's not going on a rehab. He's facing these minor league pitchers that are throwing BP to him. You can't play him 1 game every series and expect that he's going to be effective.
Well, not as effective, but at least you'll have an idea. The worst thing would be if the tendonitis comes back right away, or if after a few games, and so you're guarding against that by load managing. I agree. You have to have. Yeah,
baseball's a little different when it comes that way. You got to get repetition. You got to get at bats. You got to see pitches. You can't play just once every now and then and be effective. So either he has to play full time or he has to have more rest.
So you're basically all in once he comes back.
Oh yeah. You can't load manage baseball players.
Okay.
It's a completely different thing. You got to see the ball get your eye coordination back.
Sure. Yeah, it's a difficult spot to be in. I just don't want to see him backslide.
I hear you. That's why either you're ready or you're not. Like, the pain is all gone away, and he can play tonight. You got to play him. If it comes back, it comes back. But right now they say there's no pain. If they say there's no pain, he's got to play. Now, if he has pain,
Well, I
you got to
thought
sit
he
him
had
out for a
some-
long period of time.
Well, after the last batting session he had, Topper, I think it was, said he had some pain the next day.
He did.
And was
Yeah,
going
he
to
was
take
sore.
that day off.
Yeah, he was sore. So I don't know if he's going to play tonight. You know.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see. I hope they don't
But
rush
look
him.
at it at the bright side. The bright side is, as long as Bryce Harper doesn't play, Otto Kemp plays.
Hell yeah.
There you go. Otto Kemp. The delightful little Otto Kemp. Everybody loves him.
Well, you don't want to shortchange him.
Come on, man. Come on.
I know.
I can't. Listen, I know people. Oh, he's got a good swing. They always say, oh, he's got good balance. He adjusts very well. Blah blah blah. Yeah, okay. All right. It's not going to do you that much good.
Well, hopefully he's on the rise.
Otto Kemp.
Yeah.
Where are they rising? Where are we rising to?
Well, hopefully he gets comfortable. I mean, he's been hitting the ball on occasion hard. He just, I think, is getting into developing his timing at the...
Yeah, I'm not really sure that the Otto Kemp is the answer.
Now, see, here's where the fork of the road happens.
What's that?
I can enjoy the fact he had a good weekend. I like the fact he had a home run. He had a double to give him the lead yesterday.
Did hit a home run. It just made it in that first row there.
Hey, it got out.
It did. You're right.
A lot of guys hit the base of the wall with that one.
I agree. Good swing.
Enjoy it. Enjoy the weekend from Otto Kemp. You don't like the little story. You don't like the guy that has his weekend and that's his thing. Because
I don't like the premise that Otto Kemp can help you win something. Okay? I'm sorry. I just don't.
I like the premise he helps you win for a
believe
weekend.
In the Weston Wilsons, the Otto Kemps, and the whomevers.
Oh, I got you there.
Yeah.
I don't think Otto Kemp's going to be here contributing for years to this club the way that we heard Dave Dombrowski say last week.
Yeah, it's a good club.
Great club.
Good. Yeah, we have a good
Great club.
And he's part of the club.
We're going to do everything we can for this club.
Exactly. All right, we got a couple texts. Let's hit a text before we get to a break, and we'll come back with it. Come back with your phone calls. Again, I look at yesterday's game. I go, okay, good. Is this a particle of a bigger atom, which means the Phillies can do something in the playoffs? That's all I look at. Every win to me is just a particle. It's floating in space that makes up an atom that goes to the nuclear fission. You know what?
We got Phil
Whatever
from
that
Florida.
means.
Mike, great insight by you on the makeup of the Titans. I'm a long haul guy. No way that lineup survives at least 3 postseason series.
Yeah, I don't know if it does or not. That's what I'm trying to figure out. It doesn't now for me. So they went 2 or 3 to Braves. I go, that's fantastic. Are they good enough to win something? And in their current form, I go, no, they're not. They need a little bit more. So I can't just enjoy a win over the Braves. I just can't. I'm sorry. I'm not going to enjoy tonight. Wheeler. I expect them to beat the Padres tonight. Does it mean that they can survive series in the playoffs? 610-632-0975. Does that make me a bad fan? Are you a bad fan if you think that way? I don't know. Maybe you are. I don't see it. I think you're actually a good fan because they've set you up now to say, okay, we are at a championship level. Now let's get the frickin' deal done. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Hey, everybody, it's Bill Colarulo, and coming up at 2 o'clock on
11:25. We're going to talk to the man who covers the New York Giants for ESPN.com, Jordan Raanan. Get a little bit of a Philadelphia connection as well. He has picked the Dallas Cowboys to win the NFC East. And we're going to get to the bottom of why he thinks that. Now, he's got the Dallas Cowboys winning 12 games. The Eagles are 11.5 over-under, and I've actually only have the Eagles with 11 wins. I didn't think Dallas was going to get 12, and I thought the Eagles would still win the division with 11, even if they have to do it with a tie break. But Jordan Raanan is going to make the case that Cowboys are going to win the division. Ray, what do you think of that?
I've been saying this offseason. We all look past them because they won 7 games last year, but they were all banged up. Dak Prescott was hurt. They had Pickens. Yeah, that defense was bad last year, but can it be as bad as it was a season ago? And it was also bad very early without Parsons. I'm not thinking they win the division, but I think we in this city have really undervalued what they are.
The Cowboys?
The Cowboys.
Yeah. Wait, are we supposed to think that Dak Prescott is going to lead them somewhere?
I don't think he's leading them to a Super Bowl, but if we're talking about regular season success, he's had plenty of it.
Yeah, I'm not feeling that at all. I'm not feeling the Cowboys going from 7 to 12.
I didn't say 12, but I said
well,
we've
they're going to have to win
them.
12 to win the division.
I didn't say they won the division. Jordan Raanan said they won the division.
Well, what are you saying here? You're mumbling on both sides of your mouth here.
They could be a postseason team. They could be a playoff team for sure. They could compete.
Are they going to win
division.
the NFC East?
No, that's not what you asked me.
Oh, I'm asking you now.
No, I don't think they're going to win the NFC East.
You don't believe it, but you're saying, well, you're shortchanging the Cowboys.
I think we have been.
How do we shortchange it if they're not going to win the division? Well, what's shortchanged about that?
We did the poll. What was it? Of how many people thought the Eagles were going to win Week 1? It was like 96-4. The people thinking they were going to win Thursday night to open up the season. There's a little bit more respect due for that team.
Where? Where's the respect for that team? They got a coach you don't even know can coach.
All right, we didn't know if our coach could coach going into last season. They won a Super Bowl.
Better team, better culture.
Sure, that's great. It's one
Cowboy culture is terrible. How can they win with a culture like that? There's a reason why they haven't won.
They haven't won the big one. You can't win the big one with the culture they have. They've had plenty of double-digit winning seasons.
You're actually saying that they're going to win 12 games.
I'm not saying they're going to win 12 games. You keep saying I'm saying that.
You're trotting into in areas where you're walking through it, but you're telling me you're not walking through it.
If you go down right now to City Hall and hold a sign, "Will the Cowboys make the playoffs?" and you ask 100 people, 99% of them would say no.
And you're the one that says yes?
I guess I'd be the one that says yes.
What am I doing? Jordan Raanan? Or am I doing Ray Dunn today? Should we cancel Jordan Raanan?
I'm just telling you, Raanan brings up the point that this has been an unpredictable division and that this team, the Cowboys, in the regular season with Dak Prescott, have found a way to win double-digit games when he's been healthy.
Is this a joke call?
I'm not telling you they're going to win a Super Bowl. I'm not telling you they're going to win the division. I'm just saying that the idea that this team's just all of a sudden a joke, not going to be anything in this division, is probably a little bit of our Philly bias coming out.
It's not Philly bias. How's it Philly bias? They're a better team than the Cowboys.
They are. I'm not telling you that they're not a better team than the Cowboys. I'm telling you, though, the Cowboys, like this year, going into this season, if we do that same thing down at City Hall with 100 respondents, are the Eagles going to sweep them? I would think that 95% people would say, yeah, the Eagles are going to win both games.
Okay. So,
I think that's, again, taking them lightly.
And there you go. And that's my prediction. The Eagles take both games, win by a tiebreak. Boom. Eagles win 11, they win the division with 11.
They're not going to beat the Eagles in the division. I'm not saying that. You keep
hinting that they are. You keep hinting that you agree with Jordan Raanan.
I'm not hinting that. You are interpreting me saying that people are undervaluing the Cowboys as I think the Cowboys will win the NFC.
You're not saying that the Cowboys aren't going to win a division.
They're not. I've said that 3 times in this segment now.
I don't know what you're saying.
I'm saying that they will win double-digit games. There you go. I think the Eagles finish better than them. I think they win double-digit games.
Well, who cares if they win double-digit games? They're not going to win the NFC East. That's what the subject matter is.
I'm not saying they're winning the NFC
What is this like?
East.
Is this an Abbott and Costello routine here?
I just think you are listening to me and hearing what you want to hear in this conversation. You want me to say they're going to win the NFC
What are people hearing from Ray? What are they hearing? The text board. What are you hearing Ray say just now?
All right, let's see. Mike's treating Ray like Bill right now.
I don't get it.
Dallas 9-10 wins. Neil, Cowboys are undervalued in Philly. I think Ray is correct. They could have been a sneaky 10-win team.
I'll sneak this.
Jake and Ray is correct.
Sneaky. What else you got on the text board? Fan text. Plenty of fan text. Are you a true fan if you see each game as just a means to the end? Like
right.
I see it.
Phil from Jersey here. You are miserable if you can't just enjoy the game. Fans who are constantly looking for the future are the ones who can't enjoy the little things.
What
You
are
got to
you
enjoy
talking
the
about?
ride, or else
You
you'll
can't
constantly
enjoy little thing. It's not a little thing anymore. It's a big thing. Little things don't matter with this team the way it's been set up. It's the big thing that matters.
All right, we got Anthony from Bethlehem here. This is a surprising take by Mike. It's hard to win any game, no matter how badly the other team is floundering. Every win means something.
Got to be kidding me. Every win you're evaluating whether this team is good enough to win a prize at the end. It's not about an individual win that you wake up and you have coffee on Monday morning and you go, boy, that was wonderful what Ranger Suarez did. It's the bigger picture.
And just because you're upset this segment, Jim from Satterton. Mike, I didn't catch the name of the guy who hit his first home run for the Phillies the other night. Is it Otto McConnell or TJ Kemp?
People get the impression that I don't like Otto Kemp. It's not that I don't like Otto Kemp or TJ McConnell. It's not that. It's bigger than that. It's like you're going to tell me that you're going to platoon Otto Kemp as your left fielder or your full-time first baseman, and that's good enough? Come on now. What are we doing? All right, by the way, it's the 11 o'clock hour. I got a topic. First of all, this is the 30th year anniversary of something really special. I want to see if people get this, first of all, and I'm going to tell you what I think it means or it meant at the time. We'll take a break. We'll come back. I'll tease that. I'll give it to you. I even have a list that's attached to that. 610-632-0975. The Cowboys are going to win the division. And Jordan Raanan and Ray Dunn say so. The Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Fanatic Sports Update.
A new team in town. I'm Ray Dunn. This update is brought to you by Groundworks, your expert for basement waterproofing and foundation repair since 1997. Book your free inspection at groundworks.com. The announcement came at 10 o'clock today from the WNBA that they'll be expanding to Philadelphia. Philadelphia going to receive the 18th team in the league coming in 2030, owned by Harris Blitzer Sports Entertainment and a minority stake from Comcast. Elsewhere in the Philadelphia sports scene over the weekend, the Phillies taking 2 of 3 from Atlanta with a 2-1 win on Sunday behind another shutdown performance from Ranger Suarez. 7 innings of 1-run ball lowered his ERA to 2 for the season. Since May 10th, Ranger Suarez has the lowest ERA in baseball at 1.10. The win yesterday for the Phillies gave them 2 of 3 over the Braves before they open up a 3-game set tonight against the Padres. It's a 6:35, first pitch with Zach Wheeler matching up with Matt Waldron on the mound. In the NBA, the 76ers have seen the draft come and go, and now a flurry of moves over the weekend. Kelly Oubre, Andre Drummond opted into their player options. Eric Gordon has declined his player option. There is mutual interest in bringing him back to the 76ers. Justin Edwards received a 3-year deal from the Sixers on Friday, and Quentin Grimes got his qualifying offer. We'll keep you updated with everything going on in the NBA offseason. The Flyers had their draft over the weekend. First-round selection, Porter Martone and Jack Nesbitt headlining a 9-player draft class for the Flyers, and the Union had their 11 MLS match unbeaten streak ended Sunday with a 1-0 loss to the Columbus Crew. This update's also brought to you by Mattress Firm. Mattress Firm's July 4th sale is your chance to reclaim your restless nights and upgrade to a premium mattress. Get matched, sleep at night. I'm Ray Dunn for 97.5 The Fanatic.
All right, so 10:54, Mike Missanelli Show. Breaking news on an NFL trade. Miami Dolphins have traded Jalen Ramsey to the Pittsburgh Steelers. What do you think of that, Ray?
Steelers continue to be old. At quarterback, at cornerback, good for them. I look forward to their 10-7 season.
So you're not buying that's going to help the Steelers?
No.
Jalen Ramsey? Too old?
All their key guys they've had this offseason feels like are ancient.
Yeah.
Quarterback, both corners, with all due respect to Darius Slay. Yeah.
Ramsey's compensation, you got a $1.5 million raise as part of the trade. $26.6 million for Jalen Ramsey.
I already got a text from my best friend's Steelers fan.
Darius
We're going to the
Slay.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, they get Darius Slay there now. Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah, a couple 30-year-old corners. Nothing's ever gone wrong with that.
Yeah.
40-year-old quarterback.
All right, other news, big news today. Philadelphia's getting a WNBA team in 2030 owned by the Harris Blitzer Entertainment Group. And here's my prediction. First game, 2030, Philadelphia, I don't know, Liberty Bells. Josh Harris sitting courtside, and we're 2 minutes to halftime, and he says this.
I just want to be out of this building.
WNBA not exactly floating his boat there. You see what I'm saying? I'm doing there?
I saw what you're doing there.
Okay. All right. In the 11 o'clock hour, I need to talk about this. 30th year anniversary of, in my mind, the most exciting arrival in Philadelphia sports in the last 50 years. Of course, you know what I'm talking about. The arbitration hearing that awarded Eric Lindros to the Flyers. Now, in the 11 o'clock hour, we're going to go back in time because I remember everybody sitting around the radio as Larry Bertuzzi, the arbiter, was trying to decide whether the New York Rangers were going to get Eric Lindros or the Philadelphia Flyers were going to get Eric Lindros, because apparently 2 deals were made by the smarmy owner of the Quebec Nordiques. I forget what his name was. Lindros did not want to play for Quebec, refused to play for him, so they had to trade him. They originally thought they had traded him to the Flyers, and the Rangers said, no, we have a deal, and it went into arbitration, and we were all sitting around waiting for this arbiter to decide, and he went on forever before he got to the decision. It was maddening. But to that end, to that note, here are a list of my 5 most exciting arrivals in Philadelphia sports. Eric Lindros is number 1. The excitement level for that man, he was something that hockey had never seen before, and we were getting this special player, more special than anybody who ever played hockey, and the Flyers had gotten him. The buildup of it was immense, and that's why he's my number 1. Number 2, this is the last 50 years now, Ray, Julius Erving. Number 3, Bryce Harper. Number 4, Saquon Barkley. And number 5, Roy Halladay. Honorable mention in the 6th spot, Moses Malone. What do you think of that list?
All right, so this is your chance to educate me here on this one, because I hear you. Dr. J obviously was an exciting addition to that team and for where the Sixers were. But for Malone, it almost felt like that was going to be the piece that put them over the top. Give me why Malone's outside the top 5 and Dr. J's as high as he is.
Because Dr. J was larger than the game. Dr. J had this aura about him that he was this high-flying, magnificent, elegant eagle who swooped in, and he had that kind of, he had the afro, he had the dunk contest where he took off from, he was just like, he was almost a fantasy world.
Got it.
Moses was solid. Dr. J was way above that.
I got it. So the again, just the energy he brought to the city, I can understand being higher than Moses. But for Moses to be non-top 5 when, again, it seemed like he was the piece that was going to answer the championship quest that you have been on for 7 years.
It's a very good argument. For me, I just didn't want to go with another basketball player, and I couldn't keep Saquon off of there, and I couldn't keep Halliday off of there either.
Is it justifiable, though, to keep Saquon off of there?
You want to put Moses on there and Saquon off? I don't know, man. I don't know.
Like, I think we're living in the post-payoff of Saquon being here.
You're right about that. I could probably be convinced that Moses should get on it and Saquon off.
Like, the end result of what you get from both of them makes them two of the more impactful.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right about that. So this is why I throw it out there, because I want to ask the people the same question. I had Lindros, Irving, Harper, Saquon, Halliday. So many other people would fit Moses in there somewhere, and I agree with that. I mean, I know they would. So, again, this is a kind of an arbitrary list. It's a subjective list. This is the way I looked at it.
Also, a name we got immediately on the text board here. T.O.
Pretty good. Pretty good. I don't know if T.O. It is pretty good. I have to expand this now. I have to expand it to 7. I don't know if I can put T.O. over my guys, though. Maybe I can. Put him over Saquon? Can I put him over Moses? Difficult.
In turn, and the Saquon one, because again, we're living in the post payoff of it. So I'm not downplaying what he did for you, because he's obviously a driving force of why you win a Super Bowl. But when he got here, there was still the raging debate of whether you pay the running back. I think when you look at and so much, do we want to put anything in lists? But lists from last year, top 100 players or top this in the NFL.
Yeah.
He had a tough go in New York that it kind of, I don't want to say diminished him, but T.O., you're getting the receiver at the time. And that was supposed to be kind of like Moses, the piece that gets you over the top. Saquon was supposed to help you get back to it.
For you, your list would include T.O. and Moses and not Halliday and Saquon.
Well, that's hard. Halliday's and this is showing my age here. Halliday's prime kid, oh my gosh, they're getting Roy Halladay.
Well, yeah, that's the way I felt. That's why I put him on the list.
Yeah.
So anyway, you're listening to WPEN HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, Beasley Media Group station, broadcasting from the Comcast Business Studios, powering possibilities. I'm calling the Xfinity because the new arena is going to be called. What's it going to be called? Xfinity what?
Xfinity Mobile.
Xfinity Mobile Arena.
Have we landed on what we're going to actually call it?
Xfinity Mobile Arena.
It's a little long. Xfinity Mobile Arena.
The X.
The X?
Yeah, it's going to be called the X.
I don't know. I'm going to have a lot of concerned people if I say I'm going to go see the X.
Yeah.
I'm going to the X.
It's
going to hang out at the X.
It's going to be called the X.
Is it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Can we call it the X?
It's going to be called the X. What's wrong
because
with
there's
that?
as many bad feelings in that building.
What's wrong with the X?
The X? A lot of people ask that question themselves every day. What's wrong with the X?
The X-Man. X Arena. 610-632-0975. Reggie is currently in the, where is he? Pacific, Missouri. What is that? Reggie, our traveling truck driver. Where are you at, Reg?
Good morning, Mike. Good morning, Ray. How y'all doing?
You're in the town of Pacific, Missouri.
Yeah, it's about an hour southwest of St. Louis, and the biggest thing there is headquarters for Monster Truck, my favorite.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
I've been there a couple of times. I haven't met Bob Chandler. He's retired, but the guys that work in the shop, they allowed me to go in and see Bigfoot number 21, I believe, which is under construction. It should be finished and on the whole thing. But, yeah, I got a nice tour.
Oh, nice. I'm glad you're having fun out there as you're working.
Yeah. All right. I heard your list, and 50 years. You said the last 50 years?
The last 50 years. Now, it's the 30th year anniversary of the one I think is number one.
Okay.
Which is Lindros.
Okay. All right. You said Dr. J number 2.
That's the 33rd anniversary? Oh, okay. 33rd anniversary. My bad.
Yeah, 30, all right, but you said Dr. J number 2.
Yeah. Harper.
I would like, not yet for me. I would go with Roy Halladay and Moses Malone, and Harper maybe number 5.
Yeah, you wouldn't be wrong either. You know, the more I'm thinking about it, Moses should be on. T.O., the fanfare of T.O. arriving here was immense. So,
Yeah.
you know, I could be talked out of putting Saquon on there.
All right. Well, if you're looking back, when did Pete Rose come here to Philly?
It was longer than 50 years ago, I think. 78. No, he might be right there at the time limit. I cut it off at like 1980. He came in 78.
Okay, 80. Yeah. I would have Moses.
So I'd be, I guess, the last 45 years if I cut it off at 80.
Yeah.
If it was 50, Rose would probably be on it.
I like Moses, Roy Halladay, and then maybe Harper at 5. And Saquon, as Ray said, we're still in the glee of him helping us win the Super Bowl, but he would be in my honorable mention.
Yeah.
6 through.
Yeah, you know what, Reggie? You're probably right about that. I probably maybe jumped the gun on Saquon. I didn't even think about T.O., but T.O. was immense. Well, I wonder if there's any people that disagree with me about Lindros. And the reason I put him on is because there was an arbitration hearing. There was this hearing and this study and this commission of detail and witnesses being called and all this thing on whether New York was going to get him or Philadelphia was going to get him. It was different than just a player arriving here. It was like a legality of some sort, whether he was going to be ruled here or not. That's what made it bigger than life for my money. And we're gonna go back in time and listen to this arbitrator. And I swear to God, I remember listening to it. I was on the air at the time, and we were all listening to it. We had it on live. And this guy went on forever and ever into the legality of it and the circumstance of it, and we still didn't know what he was going to say. And then all of a sudden, I think like 15 minutes in, you got the impression that he was awarding Lindros to the Flyers, and the town went berserk. 610-632-0975. Back after this.
Monday, June 30th, the Phillies took 2 of 3 from the Braves.
11:11, Mike Missanelli Show. Oh, we got a good Fanatic deal of the week. A new deal of the week starts every Monday. Fanatic deal of the week this week. You get 2 single-day wristbands for the price of 1 for the Funplex in Mount Laurel, New Jersey, where little Billy Colarulo used to wander around. You'll enjoy unlimited access to indoor and outdoor rides, the Splashplex Water Park, 1 hour of bowling, and a $5 arcade card where you can play skee ball to your heart's content. Get this exclusive offer while supplies last on our website, 975thefanatic.com/details. Oh, details. I did it again. Right, I did it again.
You're just obsessed with the finer details of what's going on.
I don't understand this. 975thefanatic.com/deals. Deals, not details. Deals.
I want to build a webpage on our website that does go to the / of details because I think it would get some good hits. I don't know what we put up there.
I'm an idiot. And I'm doing the show with a wet ass.
Yeah, for those that missed it, please recap.
For those that missed it, I left my window down last night. Big storm. Did the storm come through here?
There's no way it had to have because I was up to like 1.
Really? It was a big thunderstorm crashed down the shore. I was down the shore last night. And I left my windows cracked open, and my car got a wet seat. So I sat on a towel, but it's soaked right through the towel, and therefore I'm doing a show with a wet ass, which means I'll probably have diaper rash.
The seat getting wet in there?
What is that diaper rash cream? Desitin?
I don't know.
What is the diaper rash cream, everybody? Is it called Desitin? It's been a long time since before I raised a baby. So
I'll let you know if the text board helps
I
you.
think it's called Desitin. It's a rash cream for when a baby wets itself and you don't change it right away. That's what I'm experiencing right now. Diaper rash.
I'm so sorry. I wish I could say I want to help you, but I don't think I really want to help you on this one.
You're so sorry. That's really nice of you. Let's go back to the text board. What do we have? A lot of text on the exciting arrivals to Philly.
Yeah, so Pete Rose was one that I know just came up in the call, but a lot of people chiming in for Pete Rose. How about Jim Thome?
Yeah, not his top 5. Top 5. He was an older player when they got him. It was exciting, but it wasn't to the level of the T.O. or Harper or Julius Erving or Lindros or Halliday. Like you got to beat the ones that we have in the top 5 here.
All right, fair enough.
All right, who else?
We got Reggie White.
Boy, that's pretty good. Reggie White. You know, did we know what Reggie White was though? Yeah, he played in an inferior league, and he was highly touted. But did we know exactly what we were getting? Like the other ones, we kind of knew. I guess Reggie White would be a consideration. Does he beat anybody on the current list? Well, let's settle on the first list that we can beat, right? So Lindros is on the list no matter where you want to put him. Julius Erving is on the list no matter where you want to put him. Harper is on the list. T.O. is probably on the list no matter where you want to put him. And Halliday. All right, so now let's go. Does Reggie White beat any of those 5?
Probably not, given the commodity at the time.
Yes, he was kind of an unknown.
Right. Like if we again go with the post acquisition, everything he did, then he'd be that's a different list, and he'd be on that list.
Right. But on the other top 5 were known. Like Lindros was supposed to be the most dominant hockey player the league has ever seen.
Right. You knew you were getting that. Dr. J, like you talked about, the energy he infused. Harper, the energy he infused. T.O., what he was. A couple more that we're getting here right now are some of the ones that we wouldn't want to remember. Namdi is one.
Yeah, wait, no, I'm talking about. We're not talking about that. The opposite criteria. We're talking about the most exciting arrivals.
Well,
he wasn't that exciting. I mean, he was a free agent, and he was probably the best free agent that they could have gotten. But he didn't have. Was he at that magnitude?
I mean, he was pretty big name at that point for that offseason.
Yeah.
Turned out to be a pretty good actor.
Yeah.
This is definitely, now we're getting a couple of trolls here. Gabe Kapler.
Yeah, you can troll all you want. They're funny.
Can we can we talk about Andrew Bynum?
You know we can't. We can't talk about Andrew Bynum. I remember they had a big shindig at the convention center for him because I was there. They introduced him. It was like, you remember who ran the Sixers back then? Who now runs AMC movies? Adam Aaron.
Oh my!
Remember Adam Aaron?
Yes.
Adam Aaron made this big production of introducing Andrew Bynum at the National Convention Center. I mean, not the convention, the Constitution Center.
I remember that whole big thing.
It was a big, big party for Andrew Bynum, of all people.
At least he got the party. He didn't get much else.
Was Doug Collins the coach at the time? I think it was Doug was the coach.
Yeah, Doug was, I think, still the coach there at that point.
God.
Hey, man.
Oh, it's incredible. I remember I got into a little bit of a beef with a Channel 6 cameraman.
Really?
Yeah. Doug Collins was speaking. And so a bunch of us were gathered around, and this cameraman came in and bulldozed me out of the way with his damn camera. Like body checked me out of the way. So I pushed him.
Oh.
I pushed him back. And it ruined his camera went askew. Like, I don't do that.
Luckily, I don't think they're ever going to have to use that footage again.
No.
I don't think the Bynum documentary is ever coming out.
It's not,
I don't think it's going to be something released.
Exactly.
We got another Eagles one here. Only one I remember close to T.O. was Herschel Walker.
Herschel Walker. By the time when they got him, that wasn't that big when they got him, was it?
Wasn't there? And
he had been out of the Minnesota thing, the Dallas thing.
But there was you guys did some radio promotion, I thought, at that point.
We did?
I thought there was something for Herschel that was done.
Honk for Herschel?
That's what it was.
Yeah, it was honk for Herschel.
Feels like that's a genuine.
Yeah.
There was excitement in that.
It was big, but it wasn't as big as Lindros, Doc, Harper, T.O., Halliday. And we'll cut it off at 80, so Pete gets nosed.
Well, then does Dr. J also get cut?
No, Dr. J won a championship in 83.
Oh, but I thought we were cutting off at Arrival.
Oh, are we doing it at Arrival? All right. Let's do it at Arrival. So that he came in, 76?
But you could argue that Pete Rose, like if Malone's not on this list, Pete Rose isn't on this list.
Yeah, we got Moses. All right, so we got Moses and Rose in the mix, depending on whether people think they should be on the list. Moses and Rose would probably beat T.O., and Moses would probably beat Halliday, if you're really being honest. I don't know. It's just subjective. All right, Jordan Raanan. He covers the Giants for ESPN.com, and he has picked the Cowboys to win the NFC East. We'll get his reasoning and his rationale after this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
A new team in town. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. WNBA announced today that the 18th franchise in the league will belong to Philadelphia starting in 2030. It'll be owned by Harris Blitzer Sports Entertainment as well as a minority stake for Comcast. Again, they will begin play in 2030. The WNBA announced today. Elsewhere in Philadelphia sports, the Phillies snuck by the Braves 2-1 on Sunday after another shutdown performance from Ranger Suarez. His 7 innings of 1-run ball lowered his ERA to 2 for the season. Since May 10th, Suarez the lowest ERA in baseball at 1.10. The win yesterday for the Phillies gave them 2 of 3 over the Braves, where they open up a 3-game set tonight against the Padres. It's a 6:35 first pitch with Zach Wheeler matching up with Matt Waldron on the mound. With the draft in the rear view, we got a flurry of 76ers moves over the weekend. Kelly Oubre, Andre Drummond opting into their player options. Eric Gordon declining his player option, though there is mutual interest in bringing him back to the 76ers. Justin Edwards received a 3-year deal on Friday night, and Quentin Grimes got his qualifying offer as he is a restricted free agent. We'll keep you updated with anything going on with the 76ers this offseason throughout the next couple of weeks here on The Fanatic. And the Flyers had the NHL draft over the weekend with the first-round selections Porter Martone and Jack Nesbitt headlining a 9-player draft class. And the Union's 11 MLS match unbeaten streak ended Sunday with 1-0 loss to the Columbus Crew. This update is brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. The Mercedes-Benz Dream Days are back with vehicles on the 2025 E-Class, CLE Coupe, C-Class, EQE Sedan. Hurry in now through July 31st. Learn more at MBUSA.com/dream. I'm Ray Dunn for 97.5.
Oh, 11:25, Mike Missanelli Show, 97.5, The Fanatic. A little football action going on right now as we bring on a man. Well, first of all, he's most famous as a media member that has 3 A's in his last name. But he's also the beat writer for the ESPN that's covering the New York Giants. We welcome in Jordan Raanan, who's made a startling prediction. Jordan, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, you'd be hard-pressed to find an R last name that's ahead of me.
Yeah, no, the 3 A's. Raanan. I love the A's in the last name. Raanan. No, it's fantastic. Listen, I got to get into this prediction because you go into this roundtable discussion with Tim McManus, our own who covers the Eagles, Todd Archer covers the Cowboys, John Keim who covers the Commanders, and you who covered the Giants. And so the question is, who wins the NFC East in 2025? Now, McManus goes first, and he says, Daniel's one of the best young quarterbacks, the Commanders, blah, 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 blah. Well, he didn't even mention Dallas. While the gap between the two teams appears to have narrowed, the Eagles still have the talent advantage and deserve to be favorites heading into the year. All right? Now we get to Archer. He says Eagles. And the Keim, he says Eagles. Now there's Jordan Raanan. Now let me just read what you wrote here. Let's get first of all, you got people in this town crazy. You know you do. Let's get a little bit crazy here because that's the recent history of the NFC East. You right. No, not the Giants. That gap is massive. But since everyone is down on the Cowboys this season, it only makes sense they surprise and win the division. Jordan, justify your prediction for me.
First off, I got to be honest and give full disclosure. So the Giants held their mini camp a week after everybody else, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm filling out this answer, I'm going into the file. We have a joint file, and looking at it, I already see what the other answers are, right? So now I'm sitting there saying, well, let's be a little different. And I do think, though, on a serious note, the logic is the Cowboys, everyone, I get it. They had a bad year. We don't think they're real serious contenders. And I still don't think they're a real serious Super Bowl contender. But the Cowboys, when Dak Prescott plays, win games. Like going into last year, who was the biggest contender for the Eagles going into the season? It was the Cowboys, right?
Yeah.
And what changed? Dak Prescott got injured. They had a big year, and everything went right for the Eagles. Remember, you had a lot of questions about the Eagles' defense going into last year. They ended up being the number one defense in the league.
Right.
So, yes, I do. Look, I don't think the Cowboys are ahead of the Eagles. Like, if you tell me which team would I think is more likely to make a Super Bowl run, clearly I still think it's the Eagles. But to discount the Cowboys in the division and the idea that they can win, 12 or, there was 17 games. 13 might be a lot, but, because the division in general has a tough schedule. There's going to be some tough games for everybody in the division.
Right.
But if you tell me the Cowboys got 12 wins and a couple things went right for them and a couple things didn't go right for the Eagles, and I'm also a believer, by the way, that, and I love Jaden Daniels. I think he's going to be a star. Look what happened to C.J. Stroud, who I also think is going to be a star. Yeah, it was a tough second year for him. It's not just usually a meteoric rise and everything goes right for you. This is the NFL. I think there could be a little regression with Jaden Daniels in regards to the success that he has. I mean, they made the championship game as a rookie. So to expect that to just continue and everything to go smoothly and everyone to stay healthy, as long as Dak Prescott stays healthy, the Cowboys are going to be a dangerous team. And that was my point. So, hey, why not, be a little different? We're always wrong with the NFC.
So basically, in your heart, you really don't believe it.
I mean, I do believe that I believe that they are going to be a contender for the division. I really do. I mean, Dak Prescott with CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, and Micah Parsons, and they still have a good pass rush, and then they could rush the passer on defense. I think they have. They are going to be a double-digit win team. Now, what that means and where they fall in, I don't know. But I mean, if we just sat here and went chalk, it would be boring and everything. So I felt, why not? Give it a whirl.
I got you. And
a lot
listen,
of people's attention, including Eagles fans.
You have experience in Philadelphia, so you know what you're going to do to these people when you write something like that. But you do make it sound logical argument that there's high-end talent on the roster, and they were good enough for at least 12 wins each of the previous 3 years that Prescott played. So it's if he's going to play, they're going to be good. Now, interestingly enough, the Eagles' win total is 11.5. And I think that's short, and I think I'm going under with that. I think the Eagles win the division with 11 wins, but you could very well make the case if the Cowboys can win 12 games, they can win the division.
who's to say, the Cowboys can't win 11 when they're tiebreaker? Who knows? Who knows how that plays out? So, I think they're right in the mix. Like, to discount them, which I think a lot of people have, is kind of foolish. Like, they had it happens to teams, right? You have injuries in the NFL, and there's certain injuries you're just not going to be able to overcome, right?
Uh-huh.
And they also made some mistakes last year. We know that. They left themselves super thin. Their running game was just non-existent, completely non-existent. But if you look at I don't understand. I do understand. It's a recency bias thing, right? But because they had a bad year last year, all of a sudden people are completely discount them. I think if we went back and listened to the tapes last year, there were people that were still looking at the Cowboys as a threat and a serious threat. So really not that much has changed, in my opinion, in that regard.
All right, so you obviously don't feel the Eagles will win 13 and go 13-4. So what would hold you back from that for next year? What are the factors, as a man who covers the league, why the Eagles won't replicate what they did last year?
It's just hard to do every year. You have to have everything. Look, I've seen Saquon Barkley, and I knew what kind of player Saquon Barkley was. But the reality is, it doesn't always go so smoothly. He's had injuries throughout his career. Guys get injured, and I'm not saying Saquon. I'm saying the team in general. Things might not work out so well, as perfectly. They did have some changes. They do have to rebuild a little bit on defense, right? They lost some of their depth. That's definitely a concern. So you have those injuries, it becomes a little bit harder. And the schedule is a big deal. So I do think it creates a little parity in the division. Every team in the division plays a super hard schedule, including the Giants, which is kind of crazy to think about because they won 3 games last year. They have one of the hardest schedules in the NFL, right? Just the way that it worked out. They play the NFC North. There is no pushover in the NFC North, right? The last place team is the Chicago Bears last year, and I think we all think, well, the Bears could at least have a chance to be dangerous and good, right? Mm-hmm. You play the AFC West. That's Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, and the Denver Broncos team that, at very least, is very good defensively, and Bo Nix was great last year. So that's 7 games right there, and then you're intra-division games. So the schedule is a big thing. It's going to create some parity. And the NFC has proven to be, Mike, we cannot deny it, completely unpredictable.
We're talking to Jordan Raanan. He covers the Giants for ESPN.com. Jordan, what is it like covering that team?
It's been terrible.
You got all kinds of story angles on how bad they are, but what's it like covering them?
It's been bad the last couple of years because they just have no hope by mid-October. But I do think that they finally seem like they're headed in the right direction. We don't know if Jackson Dart's good, but if he happens to be a good quarterback, they're building a defense that at least should scare some opposing teams. The pass rush, their front 7, their front 4 in particular, is something that opposing teams now have to worry about. So it's been a rough go. Giants fans have been. I know Philly fans can be negative, but Giants fans have just been sort of despondent these last couple of years, and it's kind of been tough covering the team. You almost want them to be good for relevancy's sake. It's good for a year or two to be done basically by mid-October.
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about it. TV's not going to be calling on me every day. But at some point, you're like, well, okay. It's 12 years. It's kind of enough. You know what I'm saying, Mike?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. You almost have Philadelphia fans feeling sorry for that team, which is the ultimate insult.
How about this? The Eagles have never had a stretch like this, in your lifetime, basically.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
In your lifetime,
so how are Giants feel? Listen, I know how they felt about Saquon last year. How are they going to feel when Daniel Jones wins Comeback Player of the Year?
Yeah, that'll be an absolute killer. Brian Dable's career, he better hope that Daniel Jones is not a stud in Indianapolis.
He is.
That would be the ultimate.
I swear to God, he's going to be a stud.
You think so?
Yes, I think he's going to have a monster year for some reason.
Oh my God! Yeah.
But don't take delight. Saquon will have 1,000 less yards than last year, so they'll take delight in that, right?
No, I don't think that would change it at all. Okay, Daniel Jones, they're all convinced that he stinks, and he was. How about this? The Giants are so convinced that Daniel Jones stinks and that he was the problem. They brought back 10 of 11 offensive starters aside from Daniel Jones.
Yeah, that's true.
That's how much they're betting on They're betting on Russell Wilson, who's on his fourth team in 5 years, to be that much better than Daniel Jones, and that be the answer to their offense.
Yeah. Well, Jordan, you put yourself out there. You know, it's one of those predictions that you can only look good, and if it doesn't happen, nobody remembers that you said it anyway. So
yeah, it's like one of those things. You know the meme. You throw the grenade. You let it go, and you just walk away.
Yes.
That's what I had to do.
For the record, you have more A's in your name than I have vowels in my name, and I have 12 letters in my name.
Right. A lot of vowels. It's very confusing for people. Let me tell you. They have trouble with the vowels.
You got it, buddy. Hey, listen, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
Anytime. You guys have a great summer.
There he is, Jordan Raanan. Good dude. He covers the Giants for ESPN.com. We'll take a break. And on the other side, we're going to play you a clip of the arbitration decision way back, what was it, 1992? 1992, June 30th, this very day, 33 years ago, when Larry Bertuzzi, the arbitrator, awarded Eric Lindros to the Philadelphia Flyers after a long-winded legal presentation. We'll hear a little of that after this.
Andrew Salciunas.
Missanelli Show, 97.5 The Fanatic, and we're obviously talking about the Phillies. We'll get back to our Phillies chat and the idea of whether you can enjoy each game of a regular season when so much more is at stake for the Philadelphia Phillies. But today also is the anniversary of, in my mind, the most exciting arrival in Philly sports, and that was the arrival of Eric Lindros. So just to give you a little background and backdrop of the story, Lindros got drafted by the Quebec Nordiques. He was the prize prospect to come out of hockey in years. 6'5", could skate, could fight, could score, and he refused to play for Quebec. And he said, I don't want to play there because the team's management, it's a shaky situation, and he had a desire for an English-speaking market. So the owner of the Quebec Nordiques is a guy named Marcel Aubu. Now, he played a little fancy footwork. The Flyers were interested right away, and so he was negotiating with the Flyers on whether Lindros wanted to play in Philadelphia so he could make the trade. But he also shifted. He had another phone talking to New York Rangers with the same principle, saying whether they make a trade. So he made a trade with both teams. He told both teams, "Yeah, well, I'm going to ship them to you, and tell the Rangers you're going to ship them to them." So they had a hearing, 5-day hearing, and an arbitrator was picked, a lawyer from Toronto named Larry Bertuzzi. He called 11 witnesses. He had 400 pages of handwritten notes to go over, and he wound up issuing an 8-page ruling. So the Flyers and the Rangers both believe they had a valid deal. So he comes in and he rules in favor of the Flyers. Here's a little flavor of it.
I find that Philadelphia made an enforceable deal with Quebec with regard to Lindros' rights and other considerations. Philadelphia has subsequently waived the condition in its deal with Quebec regarding Lindros signing a contract, a unilateral right which I find Philadelphia possessed, since it was a condition which existed entirely for its own benefit. Accordingly, I hereby direct the National Hockey League to effect the changes as between Quebec and Philadelphia of the rights and services of players and draft choices as set out in Exhibit P2, except with regard to the 1992 draft pick. Quebec has stated that it does not wish Philadelphia's unilaterally made pick as part of the deal, if I were to so find. Philadelphia concurs in that position. I shall respect their wishes. However, that is not to say that this is an impediment to the deal, since it was Quebec's actions which caused that pick not to be bilateral. Nor should Quebec be deprived of a portion of the consideration in the deal. I agree that the 1992 pick should be deleted from the deal, but should be replaced with consideration of approximately equal value. I give Quebec and Philadelphia 18 days to attempt to agree on such consideration and advise me of same so that it can form part of my direction. Failing mutual agreement, I shall convene a telephone conference hearing on July 17, 1992 to hear submissions on what the consideration shall be. Although the parties are not so restricted in their bilateral discussions, the parameters at that hearing, if I have to hold it, will be that the consideration should be as close as possible to equal value to the 1992 pick, but will not involve current NHL players and 1992 draftees. As stipulated by all three parties, the effect of my decision to award Lindros' rights to Philadelphia is such that any arrangement between New York and Quebec involving Lindros' services or rights will not be effective or enforceable.
Boom. Rangers, you're out. By the way, the Flyers don't have to have a contract with him to be awarded the rights to him. And there should be equal compensation. And so the deal they wound up making, equal compensation. The Flyers sent Quebec Peter Forsberg, Ron Hextall, Mike Ricci, who was the number one pick of the Flyers, Steve Duchesne, a defenseman, Kerry Huffman, Chris Simon, who was a fighter, 2 first-round draft picks, and $15 million in cash.
I think they really wanted the guy.
Oh, my God. The Rangers' offer, which was voided, included Tony Amonte, Alexei Kovalev, John Van Beesbrook, and Doug Waite, along with draft picks and cash. The Flyers wound up signing Eric Lindros the following year. You ready for this? 3 years, $10 million.
Whoa.
That was a bargain. They gave away Peter Forsberg, and the question was always, oh, my God, they gave away the better player. Because, well, the Lindros never won a Stanley Cup. The Nordiques, who then became the Colorado Avalanche, won 2 Stanley Cups from Peter Forsberg. But, and looking back, I would have taken that day. Eric Lindros was one of the most exciting players that I have ever seen. And I thought, I'm like, you're not a hockey guy all of a sudden? Yeah, so I loved Eric Lindros. He was must-see TV every shift that he took. And so that's the whole ramifications of it, right? You were like 3 when this happened? No, you were 1? How old were you?
You
weren't even born yet. Not even born yet was Ray done. This whole thing. Can you imagine the fodder that was for Sports Talk Radio?
Oh, it would have been awesome.
That was like one of my first. It was my first year of Sports Talk Radio.
The books, by the way, that you would do with ratings, with how long that took for him to get to that. I mean, geez, we played you 2 minutes of it. That was at the end of like 30 minutes where he knew he had the entire hockey world captivated.
He did. I'm telling you, it was like the old days. Other people talk about the old days when you didn't have television. You just sat around the fireside chat of FDR under a radio. This is the fireside chat of Larry Bertuzzi.
He knew he had one day for this to be his day, and he took advantage of it.
And he mispronounced Lindros' name.
The whole time.
He was calling him Lindros.
You would think if you were going to get something right in that conversation, it would be that.
It's incredible.
8 pages that he just read verbatim.
So if you look back at it, Flyer fans and fans of, listen, because Lindros brought non-hockey fans to the table back then. And the tumultuous career he had was like fascinating to me and to a lot of people. And I wonder how many people reflected back on that time with Eric Lindros. Do you forget about him? Do you forget how big he was in this town? Is he just an afterthought now? After the buildup of that guy coming here, it amounted to really very little.
Has the organization's inability to win since made him larger, or has it made it more of this?
I don't know. It was always so ultra large to me because I just loved the player and the process that they got him. And you recall it was Jay Snyder was running the team at that point, the son of Ed Snyder. Ed wasn't involved as much. And it was Russ Farwell who was the general manager. It wasn't even Bobby Clark. Jay Snyder came in and kind of dispatched Bobby Clark from the organization, and all that was going on. So there was that. There was the Lindros thing. It was finally when he got on the ice. It was the build-up to the Stanley Cup. I remember he cried at when he got the Hart Trophy, saying we're going to do it. He was fascinating. 610-632-0975. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Fanatic Sports Update.
A new team in town. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. WNBA announced that its 18th organization will be located in Philadelphia starting in 2030 as a part of an announcement today that includes 3 new franchises in WNBA. Philadelphia getting the last of the 3 in 2030 that will be owned by Harris Blitzer Sports Entertainment with a minority stake from Comcast. Elsewhere in Philadelphia, the Phillies snuck by the Braves 2-1 on Sunday behind another shutdown performance for Ranger Suarez. His 7 innings of 1-run ball lowered his ERA to 2 for the season. The win yesterday for the Phillies gave them 2 of 3 over the Braves, so they open up a 3-game set tonight against the Padres. It's a 6:35 first pitch tonight. Zach Wheeler matching up Matt Waldron on the mound. In NBA world, the 76ers had a number of moves over the weekend. Kelly Oubre, Andre Drummond opting into their player options. Eric Gordon declining his player option. There is mutual interest in him returning to Philadelphia. Justin Edwards received a 3-year deal from the Sixers on Friday night, and Quentin Grimes got his qualifying offer as he will be a restricted free agent for the Sixers. The Flyers had their draft over the weekend. First-round selections, Porter Martone and Jack Nesbitt headlined a 9-player draft class for the Flyers, and the Union had their 11 MLS match unbeaten streak ended Sunday night with a 1-0 loss to the Columbus Crew. This update is brought to you by local Rheem Pro partners at thereemteam.com. When you want your home to feel like a dream, it has to be Rheem. Stay cool with a high-efficiency AC system from Rheem, R-H-E-E-M. Find your Rheem Pro partner at theemteam.com. I'm Raanan, the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
.55, Mike Missanelli Show. Well, we're going to have some Sixer talk in the 12 o'clock hour because we have the news at noon that is coming up because some developments have happened. Butler, Gordon, and Lonnie Walker IV are out. They're gone. So right now, as I count it, Ray, they have, looks like 15 players. Here are their guards. Maxie McCain, B.J. Edgecombe, Lowry, Council, Dalton, Hood, Schifino. A couple of those guys will be gone as well. But the big question is Grimes. Quentin Grimes. That's correct. He is looking for a contract that would pay him $25 million. Ray, I know he's a favorite guy of yours. Are you in?
I'm in.
You're in with Quentin Grimes. I want you to do a little addition. Can you do a little addition for me?
Absolutely.
All right. Joel Embiid, $55.2 million. Paul George, $51.6 million. Tyrese Maxey, $37.9 million. Quentin Grimes, $25 million. What do you got there?
A lot of money.
What do you
Quite
got?
a bit of money.
What is that? What is that payroll? Right.
Yeah,
there.
I was
with those four players.
55, 51.6, 37.9, and then the 25. Carry the 2.
Carry the
169.5 million dollars.
$169.5 million. What's the cap?
Oh, it's beyond
what is
that.
the cap total?
I think that's beyond it.
That's over the cap?
Yeah, I'm almost positive.
Oh, with those four players, take them over. So, would you give Quentin Grimes $25 million?
Yes.
You would?
Of course.
Wait a minute. Add some more here. Oubre, what did he just sign for?
Oh, he's got 8, I think, was what he opted into.
Player option, 8 something, 8.3.
8.3, I believe.
$8.3 million.
Yep.
Drummond, $5 million. McCain, 4.2. Council, 2.2. Justin Edwards just signed for $3 million a year. Adembona, $2 million a year. Now, what do you got?
A lot of money. It's a lot of money. It's
For that roster?
Considerable amount of money.
For that roster, that kind of money, you still pay Quentin Grimes $25 million?
What else am I going to do? I don't have that $25 million to go elsewhere. We've got the bird rights here. He's a restricted free agent.
Correct. He's a restricted free agent. So if somebody offers him 25, you're matching it.
Yeah. Who's got the money to offer him 25?
Well, somebody does. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know how it's going to shake out with the rest of the offseason. If he does get offered 25, I need guys that could play. Instead of paying him 25, what are you giving Hood Schifino another year on the roster?
I don't know what they're doing with the scrubs. I really don't. But that's a lot of money for 4 players if he's making $25 million.
Yeah, but you're able to, again, go into this ridiculous cap world because you've got his bird rights. I can't tell you that I know exactly the specific rule in the CBA that allows you to do it, but if you're allowed to pay him $25 million, I'd rather pay him $25.
Yeah, you're allowed to exceed your own cap, but you also have to pay luxury taxes.
Oh, it's not my money.
You got to save that money now for the WNBA team that's coming in 2030.
And for the Commander Stadium. And I got you.
Exactly.
There's a lot you got to pay for, but it's not my money. They can pay him the 25, pay him the 25.
Your
He's
roster,
a good player.
Maxey, McCain, Grimes, Edgecombe, Lowry. They're locks. That's 5 guards. Embiid, Bona, Drummond. Janai Broom, George, Edwards, Oubre. That's your squad.
I see what you're doing, Mike.
I'm just putting out the squad.
No.
That is your squad.
I understand what you want. You don't want to pay Grimes because you want to make sure they make that reunion with Eric Gordon happen.
I don't want to make that happen at all.
No, you're trying to save some money. I don't
want Eric Gordon coming to like as close as Lancaster.
No, I see what you're doing.
Where I'm doing with the Philadelphia 76ers.
Makes sense.
Butler, Gordon, Lonnie Walker. Oh, come on.
Oh, that's what it was. You were set on Jared Butler coming back. That's where you're trying to save the money for.
No, I was not.
You want to get younger,
in fact,
more athletic.
I will buy bus tickets right now to Downton and Hood Schifino. I'll buy them.
Well, he's going to need
it doesn't impact the cap. I'll buy the tickets for him.
Yeah, he'll get the bus ticket down to Delaware. He'll be back and forth. We'll see him again. Don't you worry. Wilmington's not that far.
Oh, man, it's 12 o'clock. You're listening to the Mike Missanelli Show, 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN, HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, Beasley Media Group Station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studios, powering possibilities. It is noon. Enjoy your lunch, everybody, because it is time now for the news at noon.
There's a whole lot going on in this world. It's time to catch up. Here's the news at noon. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Oh, it's the news. Well, I'll tell you what, LeBron James makes news no matter where he is, whether he's talking about the re-signing with the Lakers and wanting to go somewhere else, or whether it's just when he goes out to dinner, right?
Yeah, this was kind of insane to be just out there. And this is a good lesson for everyone out there. So I want you to take notes, especially you young people.
I'm taking notes right now.
When you're posting on Instagram and you're posting a video, regardless of what you're trying to show off, like maybe you're out to dinner trying to show off the cool food you're eating, it's still capturing audio. And if you post that video with audio, that audio will get out. And then we'll use it on Sports Talk Radio to talk about what LeBron James's long-term plans are. This happened out in New York City, where LeBron James was out with his wife. Kevin Love was also there with his wife, and they were out with people from Clutch Sports. One of those people from Clutch Sports posted a video of the food they were having, and in the background, you hear this.
I'm looking at New York. You're seeing retiring next year or so.
It says, I'm looking at New York because she wants me to bleep and retire in the next year or so. Leading people to speculate.
LeBron said, I'm looking at New York because she wants me to retire.
In the next year or so. Bleeping, too. He threw a little F in there, too.
Yes. As an adjective?
As if he's a little annoyed that he's being told to retire.
So, is that a beef with the wife?
I don't know. I don't know what it is, but he's talking about retiring in the next year or so.
Uh-huh.
This news comes out about the Lakers.
She wants him to retire.
Mm-hmm.
But go to New York and play first?
I don't know if he wants to go to New York to live, New York to play.
Huh.
But would they give up from New York? How do you make that work?
She wants to go to New York now?
To live, I guess. I mean, when you've lived in LA, you've lived in Miami, you might as well try New York at this point.
Why?
Why not?
Why would you try New York? Because you're all set up in Cali.
If you hate it, you go right back to LA.
All right.
Also, can't leave. I mean, are they going to leave Bronny in LA?
I don't know why she want New York. You got to do more reporting on that. Somebody got to Dave McMenamin.
Now here's
is the LeBron whisperer or Windhorst.
Here's my Windhorst moment, though.
Yeah, go ahead. No, there it is.
Everything's calculated by Clutch Sports.
Uh-huh.
Did they intentionally post this? Did they want audio of LeBron talking about his retirement to get out?
How's New York going to get him?
I don't know how New York's going to get him. That's not my problem. But it's Clutch Sports. They run the NBA. I'm just saying.
Does he want him to be player coach? They don't have a coach.
LeBron,
wouldn't that be awesome? LeBron goes to New York as player coach.
The way that would lead every single one of the national shows with what does it do for LeBron's legacy that he's the coach of this team while he's playing on it? Oh, that'd be great. We need that for content.
We do.
That would be a great week for us.
It would add on to the man's legacy.
Yes, we would need, actually, if he's going to make that decision, he needs to do it the week of the All-Star game in Major League Baseball, where nothing's happening.
Would blow Bill Russell right away.
There you go. He's the GOAT. That's it.
All right.
No more.
What's next?
All right, let's get some Eagles conversation going here. Devontae Smith had his charity softball game on Saturday. He was asked about the popularity of Cooper DeJean, and his answer, well, it's one that I know, Mike, you've talked about plenty of times here.
I don't want to see it, but I want to see it. You know, he's a white guy playing DB, so you know it doesn't happen often. So you know when it does happen, you know everybody loves it.
Uh-huh.
What they should have followed up with is should they move him to outside corner to really make history here?
Yeah, as a corner. He said DB. He couched it a little bit. So wait a minute. So this is charity softball game. Do we have any word on who can play and who can't?
Apparently Devontae Smith can. I think he walked off his own softball game. Cooper DeJean apparently was once again just a wonder to watch.
Mr. White dude from Iowa, athlete, played every sport.
He's everywhere. We've had this conversation. I think Ryan Howard was there. No word on Howard. Did
he bat?
I saw a picture of bat in his hand. Oh, he hit a home run. So that's
Ryan Howard hit a home run.
Yes, he did. Here, Chris Franklin, our good buddy.
That's unusual. That he would hit a home run. I love to watch guys that can't swing a bat though. Like it's so awkward for them. You know, like most of these guys have never played baseball ever.
Yeah,
the way they throw the ball and the way they swing the bat. It's interesting.
I'm seeing a lot of highlights. I'm not seeing a lot of lowlights, which is kind of disappointing.
I want to see the lowlights. They should have put together a tape with all the lowlights. That's what I'm interested in. Who can play, who can't.
This Goddard, I know Goddard is an athlete. This Goddard swing doesn't really give me a lot of.
No bad swing.
Yeah, I'm scrolling through Chris
swing.
Franklin's timeline here
because some of these football dudes will swing electric chopping an axe instead of getting a good flow.
Oh, he did homer, so never mind. Maybe he's good.
He homered.
Yeah, maybe it's just throwing the bat out.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything. You get the meat of the bat on the ball, you're going to hit it. But to have a nice flow, keep that bat in the zone, as Kevin Long would teach. Get it right through the zone.
Oh, Danny Garcia just powered a home run. The boxer.
The boxer can play?
It doesn't look like it. It's not a fundamental swing. It was all arms there.
All arms?
And he just
no body.
Ripped it to left field.
Yeah. They probably swing violently.
If you had to guess, who had the first pitch honors for this one?
Who threw out the first pitch?
Yeah, who do you think threw out the first pitch?
A.J. Brown.
No, not quite. I'll give you a little hint here. He's promoting a new product.
He's promoting a new product? It could be a million people. I have no idea who's promoting a new product.
Big Dom.
Oh, no. Big Dom threw out the first pitch.
That's apparently the case.
What's he promoting?
The new socks.
Oh, that's right. The Italian logos. All right, well, what's third? What's next?
All right, last one for you here. C.D. Lamb was asked about the more passionate fan base between the Cowboys and Eagles. Take a listen.
Who has a more passionate fan base, the Eagles or the Cowboys?
I can answer that. Eagles.
Eagles?
They're crazy. Our Cowboys, our fans are deep, but they not. I don't want to say nothing crazy, but the Eagles got it.
Oh, man.
What a mistake. What a mistake.
Because is he going to invite more craziness? But by lauding the Eagles' craziness, is he going to promote more craziness amongst the fan base?
I think maybe he's trying to promote craziness within his own fan base, because if I was on the other side of this, I would go crazy with that.
Are Dallas fans capable of matching that? They are not even capable.
No, well, a lot of them are frauds.
Yeah, so they,
I mean, he's not wrong.
See, he's turning on his own fan base there.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It really is.
It's a crazy move by him.
It is a crazy move.
I would never do that.
He doesn't care. All right, that was the news at noon. Thanks for listening, everybody. 610-632-0975. We'll get back to our text board. Well, we'd love to have a conversation with you, and we got Ish on hold. Ish is coming up next. Don't miss it. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
ESPN.
The Fanatic. By the way, Kincaid's on vacation this week, so Andrew, I'll tell you who's making a lot of that Beasley money, Ray.
Who would that be?
That's that Pacheco.
He's everywhere.
He is almost on every show now. Just making all kinds of coin here at 97.5 The Fanatic. God bless him. Good job, Andrew.
Big Pacheco's man.
Yes. All right, so I got to discuss this violation here. We got to get back to ish, whether it's a violation or not for people. So last week, I played golf. I took a day off. Played golf with a buddy of mine at his place. So we had a twosome. So they throw two guys in with us. The two guys they throw in with us, they were nice enough guys. We played with them for 18 holes. But they had a soundtrack playing from their cart. And I wonder if that's a violation. Now, they didn't ask, do you guys mind music? Because we like to play music. They didn't ask that question. It just played the music the whole time. So I'm at the tee, I'm teeing up. I hear the guy get to hear the music flowing from the cart. I don't understand. I don't get the music part when you're playing golf. So there's two things here. One, is that normal to play music while you're playing golf from your cart? Two, is it a violation for you to just presume that the other two people they're playing with will like the music?
Number two is an absolute violation.
It is a violation.
The assumption should not exist because most people golf in silence. So to assume that two random people that you are golfing with will want to listen, one, to music, and two, to your music without any conversation is an absolute violation.
And I'm going to tell you what else is on top of the violation. The music that is chosen is normally country music.
And you're anti-country music.
It's not my favorite genre.
Sorry, not anti, but not particularly pro.
My point is, it's like 9 times out of 10, the people that do that, it's a country soundtrack.
Was it a country soundtrack in this instance?
No, this was not, but there were a few country songs that flowed from the soundtrack. It wasn't, in general, a whole country thing. So you're saying number two is a violation. Presume. Now, let me ask you. If they ask you, now, if somebody asks me whether I mind the music, I do mind the music, but I would never say I mind the music.
Interesting, because I'm the inverse of this.
You would.
I would not ask because I would not do if I got put with two random people because I don't want to assume they want it.
Now, you are a gentleman and a scholar because that's the way it should be. You should not presume that the other two people would want your music. And even if you ask, it's probably impolite to come off like the get off my lawn guy and say, yeah, I do mind you playing the music.
Correct.
Because then you don't have a harmonious 18 with these guys.
And now, Mike, you consistently surprise me with the number of music, like the amount of music that you listen to that we probably could share. However, if I met someone of a different age than me, I would not assume they also want to hear what I want to hear, thus putting them in the position of either, hey, what do you like, and trying to fuse playlists.
Yeah.
So I would not enjoy that part.
No, it would never be an alt soundtrack, right?
No.
But what I get 9 out of 10 country. The 10th is 70s rock.
Right. Yeah.
Like one of our stations plays which one of our stations plays the 70s rock? MGK?
Yeah.
Is MGK classic rock?
Classic rock, yeah.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the classic rock of the 70s that they'll play. And then it's the country. It's never all or indie.
No. Now, where I'm going to lose you, and this is something that I think needs to be parsed out by the course you're at. There is a time and a place. For me, if it's a public place that I'm just at and I'm with a couple of buddies, I'm cool with the speaker if we're not bothering anyone else. There is, I think, a certain level of place that you go to golf in which the speaker is totally off limits.
Oh, so you're suggesting this is a membership golf course?
I would suggest more than likely that is not the place to break out your speaker.
So, by rights, if you called the pro shop, they would send somebody out to say, "Hey, with the music."
I mean, potentially. I would say I'm not anti-music while golfing, but I think that most of that comes from the fact that I don't necessarily find myself on the golf courses where I would feel uncomfortable playing the music while I am golfing.
Now, here's the other side of it, though. Maybe I haven't opened my mind up enough, and maybe I should look at the music as such. Because when you're over a ball at the tee, you got 1,000 thoughts going through your head. That maybe the music actually helps get rid of those thoughts.
Interesting. Because you're thinking about the music, or you just aren't thinking at all?
Right. It's just the music playing in the backdrop. You don't like over obsess with the thoughts. It's the music. It creates some kind of a soundtrack. Now, I'm really have never considered that because the music does bother me. I like silence. Like, I can't stand it. Like, if I'm in a foursome and somebody has a side conversation while I'm trying to tee off, like, what? The side conversation can very easily occur after you hear the whack of the ball. You know, like, why now? What doesn't have to happen?
Yeah, I'm usually silence at the box type of guy as well.
There you go. And it's only common courtesy.
I think it is. But, again, I think probably where you're playing, I would say no go on the music. Like, if my buddies were like, yo, let's get the speaker, I'd probably, is this the place for that?
Yeah.
Places where I tend to find myself, I don't feel bad.
All right. Let's go to Ish in Levittown. Ish, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Ish?
Hey, Mike, how are you?
What's happening?
No, I had a good week. I just got back from the Hamptons. It was so beautiful down there.
You're at the Hamptons? What?
Yeah.
Wait a second. I'm not buying that for a second that you were at the Hamptons.
I have video. They can go on my Instagram and see.
Well, who do you know at the Hamptons? Well, you go high rollers at the Hamptons?
No. I had a job to do down there at a house. It was at a mansion. It was so nice down there. I had videos and everything. But
what did you do? Did you squat? Did you have squatters' rights at the mansion? Was like Eddie Murphy in Beverly Hills Cop 2?
No, the people were renting out the place, and we had to like clean it up. And we had it's like for a rental. I forget what it's called, but we just had to go clean it up and do the deck. And it's like a 10-bedroom, 7-bath. It was so nice.
Wow! What, did you stay there?
Yeah, I stayed there for 3 days. Yeah.
Damn! Look at you, squatter.
Yeah. But Mike, I have a question. I have 3 things really. Let me make them quick. Do you think we should have re-signed Christopher Sanchez instead of Ranger Suarez? Because Ranger's actually pitching good right now, and I don't think they're going to be able to re-sign him. What do you think?
No, they got a bargain. Boris is his agent, right? Who's Ranger Suarez's agent? It's Boris, right? Yeah. Boris wouldn't have allowed that signing. Like he thought that his client was going to get a big payday after this year. So Sanchez was more affordable at that time.
I just can't imagine us losing Ranger.
They're not going to be able to re-sign him. He's going to look at the starting pitchers and what they're making these days. Ranger Suarez is going to get close to $30 million a year by somebody.
Oh wow, that is crazy.
Yeah.
And second, I'm excited about the WNBA coming to Philadelphia. And I'm really excited, and it's about time. I can't wait for that to happen. Hopefully they build them a new stadium. Or
they got a new stadium by 20. When's that supposed to be done? 2030, right?
2030 or 2031.
2030. So they got a new arena ready for them, and like I said, the owner's going to, after seeing almost one half of basketball, he's going to say,
okay,
yeah, I just want to get out of this building.
Hey, two quick things. The Sixers, with the re-signings and Quentin Grimes, I agree with you, Mike. He is not worth $25 million.
$25 million for Quentin Grimes. I mean, give me a break.
He's not even. Of course, yeah. I don't even think they shouldn't even re-sign him. That's going to put us over the cap, and we're just going to be stuck with the same team from last year.
I got to be honest with you. It's flat out ridiculous to think that he can make $25 million a year after playing scoring points on a mutt team that somebody had to score on. Like it's the biggest over-evaluation of a player I've ever seen.
It's like a G League team. He was traded like 3 or 4 times. It's not even worth it. But is Ray there today?
Ray is here today.
Oh, Ray, since the WNBA team since the WNBA is coming to Philadelphia, why don't you consider being the little redhead mascot and can tee golfing and and budger around when you can pass out free hot dogs at the WNBA game way, man. You can your little tricycle and the hot dog. You can shoot hot dogs up to the stands for all the players way, man. How about that?
Oh, what do you think of that, right? Was that worthy? Was that worthy?
No, you
Was that
should have cut him
worthy
off again.
insult?
Good God.
Little Ray in a little mascot costume.
I mean, sure, if you want me to be a mascot.
What would be the name of the team?
The Bells.
Liberty Bells?
Just the Bells. Liberty's up in New York
Just
already.
the Bells. I don't know about the Bells. I think you got to have a more ferocious name. You got to have something magnificent. I got to look at the WNBA names and see what kind of flavor we can get. All right, we got some open lines. You want to climb in? There's many topics on board, including the violation topic I just put on the golf course. There's music on the golf course, a violation. 610-632-0975. That's the text or phone call. We're back after this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
A new team in town. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. WNBA announced today that Philadelphia will receive its 18th franchise as it will begin play in 2030 and it'll be owned by Harris Blitzer Sports Entertainment as well as Comcast. So Philadelphia joining in on the WNBA and will be a 2030 start date for that team. The Phillies snuck by the Braves 2-1 on Sunday after another shutdown performance from Ranger Suarez. His 7 innings of 1 run ball lowered his ERA to 2 for the season. The win yesterday for the Phillies gave them 2-3 over the Braves, where they open up a 3-game set tonight against the Padres. It's a 6:35 first pitch tonight. Zach Wheeler matching up with Matt Waldron on the mound. With the draft in the rear view, we got a flurry of 76ers moves over the weekend. Kelly Oubre, Andre Drummond opting into their player options. Eric Gordon declined his player option, but there is mutual interest in bringing him back. Justin Edwards received a 3-year deal from the 76ers on Friday, and Quentin Grimes got his qualifying offer as he's a restricted free agent as we move towards the free agency portion of this offseason. The Flyers had the NHL draft over the weekend with first-round selections for Martone and Jack Nesbitt headlining a 9-player draft class. And the Union's 11 MLS match unbeaten streak ended Sunday with a 1-0 loss to the Columbus Crew. This update is brought to you by Dairy Queen. Fly to DQ today for a cosmic collision of flavors in their new Superman Cake Batter Cookie Dough Blizzard treat for a limited time. Don't miss Superman. Only in theaters July 11th. DQ, happy taste good. I'm Ray Dunn, the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
12:28, Mike Missanelli Show, 97.5, The Fanatic. More Sixers chat coming up. There was an interesting deal that an ESPN story proposed to move Paul George out of here, which it's really interesting. It makes a lot of sense, too. So we'll get to that in a second. But right now, let's get to the phones. Rick from Easton is checking in. What's up, Ricky?
Hey, Mikey. How you doing, my friend?
Good, man. How you doing?
By the way, you have an open invitation anytime you want to come up to Northampton to play. It's a great track.
Okay. I'll take that under advisement.
We'll talk.
Okay.
So, yeah, we love to play music on the course, especially when we're playing a scramble. But when you're paired up with somebody else, you always have to ask, do you mind the music or not? And if they mind it, then you don't play it. It's
but nobody's going to say they mind it. Has anybody ever said they minded it?
You'd be surprised. No, they haven't. They haven't, Mike. They haven't. But you know what? If they say it, they prefer not to, then you don't do it. But at least you ask. You have to ask or it's a violation.
Yeah, they didn't ask.
Okay, well, they have to ask. No, I heard that. That's why I called. They have to ask.
Yeah, they didn't ask. Now, they would have put me into a spot where I would have said, no, I don't mind it. But I do. I do mind it.
You would have said that.
But I would have said it. I would not have said it. I would not have said that I minded it because that makes me look like an idiot. And now it's an uncomfortable situation for the rest of the round with these guys.
And you can't have conversations when people are driving. You can be quiet when someone's hitting the ball, not just driving the ball. Anytime you're hitting the ball, you have to be quiet. I want to ask you about the Flyers because I miss you and Steve Fredericks talking Flyers because you were the hockey guys.
The hockey geese. The hockey geese.
Oh, God bless him. He was.
Yeah.
God bless him. I miss him. Anyway, so Mike, the Flyers put themselves behind an 8-ball while Snyder was still alive. He refused to sign Russians, and then after he passed away, the franchise still went with size over speed. And I think that is what put this franchise behind the 8-ball.
Where are you going with this? Are you going with the draft? How they got all these big guys now?
Well, the big guys in those positions are good because they're deep. If you look at the resume of both players, they have defensive tendencies, which is unusual for forwards and centers. But the problem, Mike, is the franchise, from an ownership and a management standpoint, put themselves behind the ball for years. And that's why we're scrambling to get back to the playoffs.
Well, I totally agree. I was saying it at the time, if you remember, which made me public enemy number one in the Flyer fan base. How they really didn't know how to build a team, and when the league was going with speed, they were behind it. And so now they're drafting big again. So I don't know what this means. Listen, I can't tell what a draft. The kid they got with the first pick seemed to slide down to them. It's a pretty good venture for them to get a winger of that kind of size. I like wingers with size. Centers, I like them to be smaller and quicker.
Micah, the NHL is like baseball. It takes these high school and these junior players, unless you get a Lindros, unless you get a Crosby, it takes these kids 4 to 5 years to develop. They're behind baseball when it takes them a long time. It's going to be a long time before they get to the playoffs consistently again.
Yeah, I hear you, man. All right, Rick.
I love you, my brother.
All right, man. Take care. There he is. That's Rick. So, that's the point. It's an interesting dilemma because when you ask, invariably 95% of people are going to be polite and say, "No, I don't mind it." Like me, I mind it, but I'm not going to ever say it.
You're not the only one that minds it. A lot of folks against it.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's go to the text board. What are they saying?
We've got texter chiming in. Music on the golf course is an absolute violation. I don't golf, but music on the golf course is definitely a violation. This isn't Caddyshack. Music on the golf course, here we go. Someone that's at least trying to defend it is fine as long as they ask the other golfers it's okay. Just curious, did Mike shoot better or worse with the music?
It was about the same. It really didn't affect me one way or the other because I tried to block it out. Then I tried to roll with it. So
we got a DB alert.
I will say this: it didn't make me shank a ball. Like the music is not like conversation. Like conversation will get into my head because I'll think about what the words that or the phrase that were just said as I'm in my backswing. Now, music is just there. It's kind of just a backdrop.
We have a texter that wants to question the whole decorum of sports in general. Golf, the ball is stationary, you need silence. Yet in baseball, you're trying to hit a moving ball, and you can make all the noise you want. Make it make sense, Mike.
Well, it's just that you grew up around noise when you played baseball. You didn't grow up around noise when you play golf. They're two distinct situations. You are conditioned to hear noise even when you were a youngster, when you're up at bat.
Now, Bob,
right? There's noise all around.
Bob in Medford adds to this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Music on the golf course is a definite violation, but also particularly at the beach. People go to those places to relax and hear the sounds of the surrounding. And at the beach, it's to enjoy the sounds of the waves. How do you feel about the music on the beach?
I think in an era of iPod or whatever you call those things, the pods, in an era of that and the wireless, there should never be anybody who plays their music out loud on a beach.
I disagree.
Come on, man. How can you play music on a beach?
I'm not breaking out the big speaker to go loud, but if I'm in a circle with people and we got a little speaker and we got just a group of us, yeah, we want to enjoy some music.
What about the people around you? Do you have any consideration for the people? Music,
are they that close to me?
Music should be restricted to you. Your taste, your music.
Our
not
taste.
Anybody else's. And then you're going to spread your musical taste to somebody that may not want to hear it.
What if
rude.
What if they find a new artist? What if they find something that they enjoy?
Talking about finding a new artist.
I mean,
they're going to admire you because look at the innovative music they're playing. I think now my mind is open to their music.
They're not going to admire me, but they might hear something they like. A little Shazam.
Music,
all of a sudden, they go down the rabbit hole with it.
Music is personal to people. Therefore, it should not bleed ears into others' ears on a beach.
What do you mean, bleed into
I'm
ears?
telling you, that's what the rule should be.
I'm not
you got the iPod, you got headphones, you got the pods. Come on.
But what if you're with the group?
What do you mean? The group has to groove around each other?
Yeah.
So all the group is all into the music you're playing?
If I throw the AirPods in, we're not having conversation. We got a little quiet music going. We're enjoying hanging out. The music's there. The conversation's flowing. We're having a good time.
And you have no consideration to other people around you. There is never a point on a beach where you're restricted to your own little airspace. It's flowing. It's flowing to and fro to others' ears. It's rude.
Sit a little further from me, all right?
10632-0975. You selfish lout. Sit a little further from me. The Mike Missanelli Show continues.
We want to hear from
Talking Philly baseball. Two really good pitching performances and a really good hitting performance in there against the Braves. They take 2 or 3 from the Braves that look dead from the neck up. So Ranger Suarez, who has dazzled lately, and the question is, well, you gotta sign him. You can't. You just can't sign. He's just gonna make too much money, and you can only have so many pitchers in your starting rotation making that kind of money. I don't believe the Phillies are going to be able to sign him, but that's okay. I mean, you're going to get as much as you can out of him. You still have a pretty good rotation with the young kids coming up and adding some depth to it. But the question I have as far as the Phillies go, because they're in a situation tonight. Actually, there's 2 things I need to talk about. They're playing the Padres. And if you remember way back in the day, not that far ago, they had a choice whether they wanted to sign Harper or Machado. You'll see Machado tonight. Did the Phillies make the right signing? Was it better to sign Harper over Machado? Right. What is your feeling about that?
At this point, I would say they made the right choice.
Okay, I think they did too. Right, because Bohm has emerged.
I think it's less about Bohm, and more about the fact that Harper's been MVP for you. They had a chance to go head-to-head in that NLCS, and Harper delivered the signature moment, got his team to the World Series. I mean, I respect what Machado's done, and I think there are people in this fan base right now that are annoyed with the constant Harper injuries and have been just annoyed by the fact they haven't gotten over the hump. But if I had to go back and do it again,
you would have gone
at
Harper.
This point, 7 years in, I'm still going Harper.
I wonder how many people would have gone. I don't know. Does Bryce Harper have the popularity today that he had when they signed him, when I made him my top 5 most exciting arrivals in Philly sports? Is he still at that level for people?
I don't know. I feel like...
Has he waned a little?
Yeah, this conversation, it's something that we've gotten a couple of times. I've seen, text board or I've seen tweets about it. And I don't think anyone would have questioned the decision a couple of years ago because I think he was riding that high of popularity. And it was like, well, what's this team around him going to do? But the more we get further into this Harper era, I do feel like they're starting to become people. I know the Dombrowski audio last week saying that he was clear to play. There were people like, why didn't he tough it out? Why isn't he out there on the field? If he's clear to play, he should play. So I think there is a segment of the fan base that's got Harper fatigue.
I kind of agree. Now let's take a bigger look at this whole thing. This is what I talked about early in the first hour. Andrew Salciunas said he's going to a game tonight with his pop as a Father's Day gift, and they decided on this game. And they're going to see a mismatch because it's Wheeler against a minor leaguer. But in any event, he's saying it's going to be nice to just go see a game and enjoy the game for the game and just drink a beer and have a hot dog and watch the game. And I say that's BS because I don't think anybody in the media can look at it that way. And I don't even think the everyday fan could look at it like it's just a game and let's enjoy it from game to game because it's a season and we should enjoy the regular season and all that it entails. And I say with this team, you cannot do that anymore. You can't enjoy it from game to game because every game portends into the big picture, which is, can they get it done? Are they good enough to actually win a championship? So to me, game to game is irrelevant. It's whatever happens in the game, you always go to the next level. All right, does that mean that they can actually win something? Am I wrong? Am I a killjoy?
I understand when we come on the air at 10 o'clock the next day, reacting to it and having the big picture look at it. I do try to enjoy at night the fact that I'm watching a baseball team that is good and I have expectations for and that I want to see succeed. Like yesterday, again, Ranger seeing a pitch. I tried to enjoy that for what it is. And in the half innings where they're batting, I'm being driven nuts by the fact that they're up at bat and not scoring. But I try to enjoy, like I told you, that Mets game Sunday night. I left there with the brimming of positivity, knowing that the next morning I would have to, okay, how does this end? How do I rationalize what I saw this weekend into how it fits into the big picture? Like, I think there is a world for the Salciunases of the world that can just enjoy and sit and watch a ball game, and then later on.
Here's the reason why I believe they can't. Because the Phillies have set themselves up as contender or bust. So don't give me, let's just enjoy the season, and let's just enjoy each game. They're contender or bust. You can't erase that from your brain.
But I also can't do anything about it until they get to the postseason.
Well, it's true, but it doesn't mean you're not thinking about it.
Yeah, I understand. I just can't. Like, I can enjoy. Like, for example, I watched the game August 2023, where I showed up to the ballpark and I ended up seeing Lorenzen throw a no-hitter and Weston Wilson hit for the cycle. Mm-hmm. Like, I enjoyed that for what it was.
You did.
That season ended up in one of the most disappointing ways that I could have ever imagined.
You know, my impression was with Weston Wilson, I hope to God he has that on video. Because nothing like that will ever happen again. That was my feeling at the time. Which leads us now to, and we have a text also advocating for him. The Phillies show. It's called the Phillies show. Todd Zalecki, who we've had on, Jim Salisbury, former baseball scribe, who still does some work, and Ruben Amaro, 3 learned baseball men. And the subject of their last Phillies show was Otto Kemp could shift the Phillies' deadline strategy so they could free up the Phillies to focus solely on their bullpen at the trade deadline instead of adding another right-handed bat. And I go, come on now. Come on. Seriously. You mean to tell me you would now not look for right-handed hitting help, a natural outfielder who could play outfield with Kepler, who might get DFA'd, by the way, and you're going to tell me that Otto Kemp makes you stop thinking about that? I mean, what are we talking about here? What is it about this Otto Kemp that people enjoy so much?
Oh, yeah, nice weekend.
He hit a double.
And a homer. All right. Is that enough to say, yeah, you know what? We don't need that now. Oh, no. We don't need that. I'm still advocating for the big right-handed bat in left field. I'm still advocating to go out there and make that
Let's get to the text. Who wrote it?
Chris in Plymouth Meeting.
Chris in Plymouth Meeting said what?
Mike, I politely disagree on Otto Kemp. It is too early in his career.
Polite about it.
Yeah, it was nice. Not like, hey, Mike, shut up.
Mike, you're an idiot.
Yeah, so he politely disagrees on Otto Kemp. It is too early in his career to judge whether or not he is Major League Baseball material.
Early in his career.
Otto has 60 career at-bats.
He's 25 years old. It's not too early.
I think he has a legitimate chance of being an everyday player.
Oh, my God. Where on earth does Otto Kemp play every day? What position are we talking about that he plays every day? What? What is the position, Ray? Where does he play every day? Left field?
I don't know.
Come on. You got to be kidding me. You know what it is? It's the new fish syndrome. The new fish always is looked at, it's a beautiful fish. The new fish that swims by, it's a beautiful fish. But it's really not. It's the same fish as so many others that go by.
That's why you never show up to the same party twice, Mike. Only appear in the same room once.
Oh, come on now, man. Come on. Listen, he's an okay player. He's really a 4A player at what I see, like just a notch maybe above AAA. He has not been a home run threat up here. He hit a fly ball that just happened to get to the first row. He hits occasionally. He'll hit the ball hard. Not always, though. Come on, man. We need to do better than that. If this team is contender, they need to do better than Otto Kemp playing as a platoon.
Yeah, I agree. I want the big left-handed bat, and I'm cool with Kepler being DFA'd whenever that happens.
All right, we got more text. Texters going after Ish. A lot of golf text. Love to hear from you telephone-wise. We're only taking a couple calls today, so here you go. 610-632-0975. And on the other side, Paul George being traded to Denver seems to make a lot of sense. I'd do it in a second. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Fanatic Sports Update.
A new team in town. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The WNBA announced today that Philadelphia is one of the cities it will expand to over the next couple of years. 3 teams received expansion bids today, including Philadelphia. Philadelphia getting a team in 2030. They'll be owned by Harris Blitzer Sports Entertainment and a minority stake by Comcast. The Phillies stuck by the Braves 2-1 on Sunday by another shutdown performance from Ranger Suarez. The 7 innings of 1-run ball lowered his ERA to 2 for this season. The win yesterday for the Phillies gave them 2 of 3 over the Braves, where they open up a 3-game set tonight against the Padres. It's a 6:35 first pitch with Zach Wheeler matching up Matt Waldron on the mound. With the draft in the rear view, we got a flurry of 76ers moves over the weekend. Kelly Oubre, Andre Drummond opted into their player options. Eric Gordon declined his player option. There is mutual interest between he and the Sixers in him returning. Justin Edwards received a 3-year deal on Friday from the Sixers, and Quentin Grimes got his qualifying offer. He's a restricted free agent. The Flyers had their draft over the weekend. First-round selections Porter Martone and Jack Nesbitt headlined a 9-player draft class for the Flyers, and the Union's 11 MLS match unbeaten streak ended Sunday with a 1-0 loss to the Columbus Crew. This update is brought to you by Electrical Workers Local 269, the Electrical Training Alliance, the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 269, and the Electrical Training Alliance can offer a career with no college debt. To learn more, go to IBEW269.com. I'm Ray Dunn, the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
A lot of texts are coming in about various subjects we talked about. First of all, texters going after Ish?
Yeah, there were quite a few.
They're on your
texters.
side.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's We got a please suspend Ish for the month of July. He's just not funny. And they're terrible one after another.
Well, that's what makes it funny. Because he thinks he's clever, and he's like, he hits like a rock.
Zach from Seattle here. The secondhand embarrassment from listening to Ish trying to roast Ray is real. I have to turn the volume down. I just can't listen to it.
Is Ray there? A little Ray? A little tricycle?
Which, of all the things, is Ray there? I get it. It's now the open to what he does.
Yeah.
But you very clearly heard my voice while you were on hold.
Yeah.
Like, don't try and make this a spectacle. It's not.
Yeah, well, yeah, that is his entry into the insult.
Yeah. Yeah. Is Ray there? He's nailed 2 of them. I'll give him credit. There have been
the
2
one, the
good
one where
Ish
you met
bits.
up with Connor's.
That was
yeah, Connor.
That's
the
one.
Little tricycle. I met with Connor on the beach. Yeah, that was pretty good.
That was good.
Little Ray meet up with little Connor. I like that one.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. What else you got with text advocating for Otto Kemp?
Yeah,
we already did that.
Yeah,
one,
we
right?
just did that one. Someone asking the question of if you're not going to sign Ranger Suarez, should you deal him at the deadline?
No. You know, the Phillies are caught here. They can't. Oh, boy. He would get them a haul. I'll tell you the truth. He really would. But I don't know that if you're trying to win something, you need him in this rotation. I mean, he's just been your best pitcher.
I agree. I've been all about that.
You might lose him for nothing. But, you know, the other side of it is he helped you win something, if that's where they're headed.
Now that we went after Ish, the text board, we got someone, maybe Ish's friend, brother, cousin, I don't know. Ish is too funny. Stop hating on my boy.
Stop hating on his boy. Yeah, it must be a relative.
Yeah, it's got to be. Or
Yeah.
Ish has multiple phones, which I would not be surprised. Ish strikes me as a multiple phone type of guy.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know.
That guy's got a lot going on.
Squatting up there in the Hamptons.
Yeah, I don't know if he was like, prepping for the white party up there with Michael Rubin or what's going on, but
They were preparing the house for an Airbnb, I guess.
I guess.
How much would you get for an Airbnb, 10 bedrooms in the Hamptons? What would that be? $25,000 a week?
Yeah, that's a lot. Here, I'll go around Airbnb right now.
Go ahead.
We got
What
some
is
time
Hamptons?
coming up this
10 bedroom.
Yeah. I need something to do this
25
weekend.
grand easy a week.
Yeah. Do they even would that even be Airbnb? Like, is there Airbnb service like that?
I think so.
Like level. All right, so weekend.
Verbo.
You want to do what? Let's go the 3rd to the 7th.
3rd to the 7th, July. Ooh, that's July 4th. That's high price.
All right, so you want to go the next weekend? The 10th
No,
to
let's
the
do that
14th?
weekend. What is it?
Yeah, all right. So 3rd to the 7th. How many guests he say he's having?
Well, he said there's 10 bedrooms.
All right, so
Let's just say 10 guests.
10 guests. Search. All right. House in the Hamptons for 10 guests from July 3rd to the 7th. There's one that's going for $16,000 for 4 nights.
Okay, that's less expensive than I thought.
$5,000 for 4 nights. Here, let me see if I get the filters to the room number instead of the guest number. Because if we've got 10 bedrooms, you could fit 10 guests in a place that
Yeah.
is small. All right, bedrooms 10. Oh, you can only go 8 plus.
All right.
And there's only one place available.
Oh, really?
That
The one
weekend.
Ish is at right now. That's
It
the one
is
that's available.
for 4 nights. $46,000.
Yeah, see, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I was short with 25.
Holy
46?
smokes. Yeah, $46,000.
Man, I wish I owned one of those joints.
Yeah, I'm just going to try and
Imagine
do a random weekend here in the future.
$6,000. That's corporate.
That's
Probably.
crazy.
Yeah, because people rich enough probably buy a property up there. That's probably a corporate thing.
I can't find a
Off that.
10-bedroom place. I want to find where Ish is hiding out.
Just put Ish in there in the search bar.
Yeah.
It's 1 o'clock on the Mike Missanelli Show. By the way, the 12 o'clock hour was brought to you by Service First HVAC, offering 0% financing for 48 months. Rebates, tax credits, up to $4,300 when purchasing a heating and cooling system. Learn more at ServiceFirstHVAC.com. You are listening to WPEN HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, Beasley Media Group station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. Phillies and Padres tonight. An overwhelming minus 225 for the Phillies. Zach Wheeler against a minor league pitcher for the Padres, who are leaking, by the way. They're a good team. I thought this was going to be a tough series for them. I'm not so sure. Phillies win 2 of 3 in Atlanta. They had a big offensive showing in the middle game, and then they didn't for 2 of those 3 games. So the offense has been still struggling a little bit, and Ranger Suarez with a masterpiece yesterday. And some people are saying, because you signed that NOLA contract, this is an impediment to being able to spend on Suarez. So they signed the wrong guy, right?
So
it sure looks it right now, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, when you look at it right now with the guy on the injured list and someone that's got the best ERA in baseball since May 10th, it would look like the wrong contract. It's hard to say in this moment, though, if you go back to the end of 2023, that this was the way it was always going to play out. And especially even last season. Like, you could have said it at the beginning of last season, then June hits, and Ranger Suarez isn't healthy. Like, this is a guy that's had back problems, that we've seen the velocity fluctuate, and you never know exactly where he's at. You had had a guy that you were in the midst of competing. Painter and Abel both weren't ready, that you had kind of locked in for 200 innings for you a season. I still go back and sign that contract. I understand how it looks right now and how it hurts you, but you also right now have $18 million tied up in Taijuan Walker. Like, if you want to talk about contracts that maybe you shouldn't have signed, there's when I'd start before I'd start with the Aaron Nola one.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Anyway, Phils and Padres tonight. And, again, we look at these games to me, and I'm sorry. And I know people think that I'm a killjoy of some sort, but I just can't look at game by game and be delighted at a performance game by game, because I always attach it to the bigger picture, which is, are they good enough to win something? And I always measure every win they have. I go, okay, that this weakness didn't hurt them in this game. This weakness did hurt them in this game. And right now, the weakness is in left field. And we can go back. And a lot of people are ripping in to Kepler for what he had to say. And I look at it like, listen, the dude was asked a question, right? The natural inclination to make excuses for yourself is to say, well, they're not playing me regularly. Even though they've played him regularly against right-handed pitching, they have not played him regularly against left-handed pitching, to which I say, play him every day. I would play him every day and see what I have. And if he does not perform against lefties with a really good sample size, then I would just release him and bite the bullet on his salary. And then you have to acquire somebody.
Yeah,
it's not going to be Otto Kemp playing left field every day.
I'm not doing that until you've acquired somebody, but I think that's the path I want to go down at this point. I mean, I think he's a redundant player to Marsh. He just can't play center field. At this point in his career, like, they're 2 left-handed guys who you really don't trust against left-handed pitching. And the one difference that you would give to Kepler and like the plus column for him is he might run into one, and you don't really have that feeling with Marsh.
No.
But they're pretty redundant to have on this roster. And to go back to what he said, what drives me crazy about this is when you go and actually look at the amount of plate appearances he's on pace to get this season, he's probably going to surpass his total of the last, 5 years.
Yeah, see, here's the bigger problem. It's Dombrowski not recognizing what he was. And the Minnesota Twins were quick to give up on him. Now, they see him every day. This is the thing that bugs me about, certain acquisitions that Dombrowski makes. He doesn't believe that the team that had him knows anything. To me, I look at it, why would the Twins give up a home run hitter? A guy who's got some pop, blah, blah, blah. Well, probably because he's played out. The Twins saw that he was played out, just like the Orioles saw that maybe Austin Hayes was played out in relation to what they had. But this guy thinks that he can, reclaim the talent somehow.
And they haven't been able to.
No.
And it didn't fit. Even if Max Kepler still had this much left in the tank, it did not fit what this roster needed. They didn't need another left-handed bat. They need to pop from the right side.
And again, he flies in the face of what they needed. Okay, I can't acquire right-handed pop. There's nothing out there for me to acquire, so I'll acquire left-handed pop. That's fine. You needed somebody, but why would that team give him up like that? I always, Like, they see the guy every day. Dombrowski, probably has enough scouts out there. I get it. But the management of the Minnesota Twins saw him every day and thought that he had lost something. And that's the reason why that they would move him on. And it's like Dombrowski doesn't take inventory of that. Am I wrong about that?
No, I mean I really don't feel you're wrong on this one because Max Kepler drove me nuts from the beginning of this signing. Like this was not the path that they should have gone down. And I've said it before to you. I don't necessarily hate him. I hate what he represents, and he represents exactly what you just said. He's a replacement level player. That's just what he is at this point. He's the one side of a platoon.
He has so many terrible at bats. He's always getting himself in the hole. By the way, did you see the Phillies? Batting average when they're 2-0 is amongst the worst in the league.
Oh, I didn't see this.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Well, they had
2-0. You say you get yourself into hitters counts. 2-0 is a hitters count. 3-1 is a hitters count. If you're not hitting the 2-0 count, you're not disciplined. You're just not, because that's the count you can sell out on. And the fact that they have a low batting average with a 2-0 count speaks volumes about their approach.
Oh, it's the worst in baseball.
It is the worst in baseball? I knew it was amongst the worst. It's the worst in baseball with a 2-0 count, which is the most favorable count you can have?
Looking at MLB.com right now, and I just did the split to a 2-0 count for this season hitting. It does say they're, the worst.
The worst. And now with a 3-1 count, it's not that much better, is it?
3-1 count would be... I know everyone's caught with suspense here. No, that's actually pretty good for them.
Pretty good?
Yeah.
3-1 is good?
Comparison.
2-0 is not.
Yeah, 2-0 is not good. Apparently 3-1 is good.
They lead the league in first pitch, right? Batting average? First pitch. This is interesting to me. Because people say, well, you want to get a good at-bat. You want to get a good at-bat. And I've said for you, if you get a first pitch cookie, you swing. The Phillies are successful at that, but not on a 2-0 count.
No.
It's weird.
Very strange.
Doesn't make sense.
Does not.
All right, 610-632-0975. It's the Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Do you feel unfulfilled during
112. Mike Missanelli Show, 610-632-0975. All right, so playing Philadelphia Freedom. Is that what it's going to be called, the WNBA team?
That's just what we got a text suggestion on
Freedom?
it. So I was, oh, yeah, why not?
How about play-by-play announcer in 2030, Ray Dunn?
I'd be in for that.
How about that? You gonna put your dibs in right now?
I'll sign up for it. I don't know who I have to reach out to.
Put your dibs in right now.
I'll do it. Please.
You should get an agent right now.
Should get an agent.
You do have an agent?
I said I should get an agent.
You should get an agent to lobby for that job for 2030, Ray.
You heard it here first, folks. I'm coming for it.
There you go.
Somebody
you got
give me that
experience broadcasting women's basketball?
I do.
There you go. You're a leg up.
So I got 3 years with Temple women's basketball already. I got the ESPN Plus stuff with Temple men's, with some soccer experience.
There you go. Well-rounded Ray Dunn, the voice of the Philadelphia Freedom.
Ray Dunn, 2030. Vote for it, folks.
Female freedoms.
Probably just freedom.
Freedoms.
Freedom.
Philadelphia freedoms.
But yeah, I'm in.
That would work.
And this is not a radio bit. I'm in. Someone please give me a call.
You're in. Let me read this Philadelphia 76er rumor. This is how they can ace their offseason. I'll just read what they wrote here in ESPN. And this is by, who wrote this story? NBA Insiders? Let's see. Just NBA Insiders, so nobody in particular. But here is how the Philadelphia 76ers can ace their offseason. 3 bright spots emerged from the 76ers' otherwise rotten season. Jared McCain, who led all rookies in points per game. Quentin Grimes, who averaged 21.9 points per game, arriving in a midseason train. And Gershon Yabusele, who was a strong all-around contributor in his return to the NBA. McCain will be back next season after tearing a meniscus, but Philadelphia must be proactive to retain the other 2. Beyond re-signing Grimes and Yabusele, the 76ers could take a bigger swing by building a trade around Paul George for Michael Porter Jr. This deal would make sense for both sides. The Nuggets have been interested in George before, and he'd give them a higher ceiling around Nikola Jokic, while the 76ers would get younger and gain future financial flexibility with Porter. What say you to this one, Ray?
Mike, I hope that they are just absolutely taken away by the potential of Paul George and Nikola Jokic. I hope they're blown away by it. I don't know why they would be, but I'm all in for them to do it.
Financial flexibility, too. I'll take a shooter like Porter over what George can give you.
Younger and more athletic, Mike. That's what Daryl Morey's all about this offseason. You're going to get a decade younger, pretty much.
Younger and more athletic, though?
8 years younger?
He's younger. Is he more athletic?
All right, maybe not more athletic.
I mean, he's a shooter. I love the way he shoots it.
But also more available.
Wow. Until that back thing flares up again.
Yeah, but over the last 3 years, it's been okay.
By the way, I was reading a stat, or I heard a stat. Do you know that only 3 NBA champions in, well, how many years has the NBA been in existence? 76 years? Only 3 champions of all those years have had guards 6'2" and under as starters.
As in a starting backcourt?
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense.
What are the Sixers?
Well, Grimes is taller than 6'2".
If Grimes is back. If Grimes is a starter.
I think he'll be a starter.
So in other words, I'm saying McCain and Maxey.
Right. I think it's good. Assuming Grimes is back, which I think they're going to do what they can to retain him. I think it's going to be Maxey and Grimes in the backcourt to start.
Okay. If they retain Grimes, $25 million now.
As compared to
$25 million. The cap number is 154.6. 4 players with Grimes making $25 million make $169.7 million.
All right, so not that you don't like Grimes. You're not Grimes' biggest fan.
$25 million. I can't pay him $25 million. If there's somebody who's going to pay him $25 million, I say sayonara. I can't match that.
But if you sign Grimes to a $25 million deal, you then have a $25 million salary that you are able to match, even if you don't like Grimes.
I get it because of the bird rights. I get it. But like, you're going to be paying tax up the wazoo. You got to fit 11 more players. First of all, Oubre's $8 million now has to count. Drummond's, that's another $13 million. So add $13 million onto that for 6 players. That's $182.7 million. That's $30 million over the cap number. That's Taxville.
I understand it's Taxville. It's not my taxes to pay.
But they don't want to pay the taxes. It's not like, listen, you pay the tax for this team. Does that team win anything? You're paying the tax on that team.
But aren't you king of you want the product out there to be better? Is the product out there better or worse by having Grimes?
Wait, is that product a contender? Even if you're paying $50 million over the cap into the tax, is that going to be a contending team?
Mike, is the crap that we watched last year, after we watched it, are we going to say, you know what, the one thing that last year actually looked good down the stretch, we're going to let him walk because we don't want to pay him? Is that a service to the fan base?
Or you can go, maybe we overvalued him because he's never done that ever before in any team he's played for.
Okay, but then who's coming here to replace him?
I don't know, but you guys got to worry about. Listen, if I've got all those guys, do I justify paying the tax for that team?
And aren't you already going to pay the tax?
In the Eastern, I know people say, well, in the East it's wide open. Am I going to pay the tax, extreme penalty tax, for that team that I think can actually win?
Even if you don't bring back Grimes, when you go to those top three salaries of 55, 51, and 37, I'll bring back out the calculator here to make sure that we're right where we need to be with this. 51.6. Oh, my goodness. Why does this not work? 0.6 plus 37.9. So that's 144.5. The cap, you say, is 154?
154.6.
Okay, so with Kelly Oubre plus another 8.3, plus another 5 from Drummond. Congrats, we're over the salary cap already.
Yeah, right now, with 6 players, it would be 182.7.
Right. So they're going to pay the tax at this point. Why would I want the team to suffer because
the tax doesn't stop there. You got to now fit 9 more players in there. 9 more.
Right.
Okay, so add another $20 million.
Yeah, I'm adding another $20 million.
You're over $200 million.
If you're telling me I'm not getting the return on investment on the $100 million plus that I've got Embiid and George signed for, yeah, I got you.
Are you getting a return investment with a salary structure of $200+ million for that team? Is that worth it to you?
It's not my money.
Oh, I'm speaking for the owners. Do you think the owners go, is it worth it for us to play more than $200 million on a payroll for this team?
Well, they could have tore it all down by getting rid of Morey and bringing in some here to rip it apart.
Are they trying to get rid of George? I guess they are. That means they're maybe conscious of the salary cap.
And that's good with me. If they want to get rid of George, they can get rid of George. I'm not going to sit here and tell you they should hold on to Paul George. I'm just saying that $25 billion for Quentin Grimes versus the alternative of nothing, I'm paying $25 billion for Grimes.
I want you to be clear about this. I am not paying Quentin Grimes $25 million. All right? You can put that on a bumper sticker.
Fanatic Pro Shop. It'll be available today.
Slap it on your Prius for the people out there who put bumper stickers on Prius. I love that those types.
Yeah, I'm not a bumper sticker guy.
The overly liberal type. They get the Prius and they put bumper stickers on it. Save the whales. You know?
You know who they voted for since 2004.
Exactly.
They're collecting them. It's like Infinity
Oh,
Stones
Mike, I thought you were a lib. No. I'm an independent. 610-632-0975. On the other side, we have to decide on the 5 most exciting arrivals in Philly sports and put this list in hard stone. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Fanatic Sports Update.
A new team in town. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The WNBA announced today that Philadelphia will be getting a franchise as part of 3 new organizations coming to the league in the coming years. Philadelphia getting the 3rd of those teams. Expected start date for that franchise will be 2030 as Philadelphia becomes the 18th organization in the WNBA. That team will be owned by Harris Blitzer Sports Entertainment with a minority stake from Comcast. The Phillies also snuck by the Braves this weekend. On Sunday, they had a shutdown performance from Ranger Suarez. His 7 innings of 1-run ball lowered its ERA to 2 for the season. The win yesterday for the Phillies gave them 2 of 3 over the Braves before they open up a 3-game set tonight against the Padres. It's a 6:35 first pitch with Zach Wheeler on the mound against Matt Waldron for the Padres. With the draft in the rearview, we got a flurry of 76er moves over the weekend. Kelly Oubre, Andre Drummond opted into player options. Eric Gordon declined his player option. There's mutual interest between the team and him to have him return. Justin Edwards signed a 3-year deal, and Quentin Grimes got his qualifying offer as he's a restricted free agent. Flyers had the NHL draft over the weekend. First-round selections, Porter Martone and Jack Nesbitt headlined a 9-player draft class for them, and the Union's 11 MLS match unbeaten streak ended Sunday with a 1-0 loss to the Columbus Crew. This update's brought to you by Aleve. Traffic and body pain can slow you down, but don't let the pain stop you with just one pill. Aleve provides up to 12 hours of pain relief so you can keep moving. Use as directed. I'm Ray Down the home, the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
.127, Mike Missanelli Show, 97.5 The Fanatic. All right, we have some breaking news on. I know everybody's totally invested in Penn State hockey, and so is it true that that number one pick for next year's NHL draft is going to Penn State? Is that what the news is? Right?
Apparently, he has visited both Penn State and Michigan State over the weekend. Gavin McKenna.
Gavin McKenna, Michigan State and Penn State. And has he decided on Penn State?
It's believed to be the only 2 on-campus visits scheduled at the moment. So it looks like it's you versus the Spartans.
Well, I think Penn State's program, having gone to the Frozen Four last year, would be better versed for the kid, no?
I don't know.
The kid's a one-and-doner?
Yes.
He's a one-and-doner. Even in hockey, they have one-and-done.
Michigan State hockey. Let's see. What are they boasting here, though?
Why is this kid going to college instead of playing juniors?
Don't question it. It's going to help you out. We're going to be playing the fight song all next year.
Okay.
Frozen Four period. It's been since 2007, so he has that whole I could bring Michigan State back to the Frozen Four thing, you know?
It is. The last time they were there was 2007.
Yeah, 2007.
Was that with Magic Johnson on that team and who else?
Gavin McKenna was actually born in 2007.
Ian Cleaves was on that team. 2007. Roy Tarpley. Oh, no, he went to Michigan. Roy Tarpley, didn't he? Who am I thinking of? Greg, who played with Magic? It was Greg Kelser. They were the two-man team back then. Magic and Greg Kelser.
Yeah, Tarpley was a Michigan guy.
Yeah, Tarpley went to Michigan. All right, let's go to the text board. What else do we have on the text board?
People chiming in on the top 5 that wanted Moses in there.
Okay. I think we decided on the following. Well, no, let's decide right now. So this is the 33rd anniversary of Eric Lindros' arbitration decision. And for my money, it was the most exciting arrival in Philly sports ever. Now, there have been some really interesting arrivals in Philly sports. But with the circumstances of this, the arbitration, the drama of the hearing, and the announcement by the arbitrator, and we played that for you a little earlier in the show, to me, it was like the anticipation of this kid coming here. It's like Philadelphia sports hit the lottery when that arbitrator announced that Eric Lindros was coming here. So and that's my number one, the most exciting arrival in Philly sports. So then I went with Julius Erving, 2. Bryce Harper, 3. Moses Malone, 4. And either T.O. or Roy Halladay, 5. Your pick. Right? You settle it.
I'll go T.O.
You're going to go T.O. over Halladay.
Also, T.O. Arbitrator involved with that as well?
Yeah, was it an arbitrator or was it the league? Somebody had to decide because the Ravens had a claim in there, right?
Yeah, we continue to get a ton of people chiming in that we have to talk about how similar it was for the two.
Yeah, I don't know if it was an arbitration to the extent of what this guy calling witnesses and all this stuff. It may have been. I don't know. I don't really remember the specifics of it. But I know the Ravens were involved. It was between the Eagles and the Ravens.
Got it.
So can we settle on that?
I'll settle on.
All right,
T.O.
I want to know how many people settle on this. Lindros, 1. And you're never going to be able to talk me out of that, by the way. Julius Erving, 2. Moses, 3. Harper, 3. Moses, 4. And T.O. Halladay tied for 5th. And you have to decide, T.O. or Halladay. Not you, but the audience.
Sounds good.
So via text, we'll do that. All right? And if you want to make a case for somebody else like Pete Rose, I guess you can make that case. Because I went back as far back with Pete Rose. Julius Erving was far back as Pete Rose.
We got a couple people chiming in. Lou from Langhorne here. How about Cliff Lee's return?
Nah. Not as extensive as the list, Cliff Lee, you think? It was a moment, but it wasn't as extensive as this list. So you got T.O. Halladay and Pete Rose vying for the final spot.
Mike and Bluebell making the case for A.J. Brown.
I considered A.J. Brown, but again, Does A.J. Brown get in before T.O. Halliday and Pete Rose? That's the question.
Yeah,
Was he as big when the Eagles acquired him? Was he as big as T.O.? No,
I don't think so.
All right, so T.O. wins that. Was he as big as Halliday or Rose?
Rose was kind of that missing piece. AJ was, this team's going to be better.
Yeah, and listen, all due respect to AJ, he was considered, and that in itself is an honor to be considered for this list.
Yes, we also had Sean had said a mention here saying that Saquon should be top 5 because of being an integral part of the championship, which is what I argued against earlier. Because
you can't have the knowledge.
Yeah, you can't be given the benefit of what happened.
You can't have the knowledge. The arrival was good. The arrival was we didn't anticipate what he did. We didn't no way we could have anticipated that.
Which led to Tom and Lansdale text here of some of the exciting arrivals that led to nothing in the Bynum, Brizgalov, Asamoah, Fultz. Also, did not expect we would get an Andrew Lang mention on the text board.
Andrew Lang? Where did Andrew Lang come from? With the Barkley? Was
he in the Barkley deal? Because he was Phoenix.
Was it Andrew Lang, Jeff Hornacek, and who else was it? It was Jeff Hornacek. It might have been Andrew Lang for Barkley.
It was, it was Hornacek, Lang, and Tim Perry.
Tim Perry.
That's right.
Tim Perry came here from that. And Andrew Lang, 2 front quarters.
Was that an exciting arrival for everyone?
No, it was not.
I was going to say.
No, that was a facetious mention of Andrew Lang because he was nothing.
Yeah, but I feel like if you go with the other and 4 and that 5, you could come up with a all-time exciting rival to poor conclusion. DeMarco Murray was another name that popped up in this list of exciting rivals.
Was that really anticipated? Was
Murray?
That an exciting arrival?
I think people are excited for
DeMarco Murray.
He was coming off that great season with the Cowboys. You took him from the Cowboys.
Again, these are nice names. The A.J. Brown, DeMarco Murray, they're nice names, but when you're up against T.O., Halliday, and Rose as the 3 for the final spot, it's tough. You would agree. It would go Lindros, Joyce Irving, Harper, Moses. Those 4, definitely.
I advocate hard for Moses, so yeah, having him in the 4 is fine for me.
Okay, and then for the 5th spot, T.O., Halliday, or Rose.
And I'll go T.O.
You're going to go T.O. in that.
T.O.
Well, a lot of people will go Rose, which leaves Halliday out, which is really interesting. I guess if you were ranking those 3, Halliday would have to be 3rd on the list.
So we got a couple Iverson people checking in.
Ooh. The anticipation of Iverson, the first pick in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good. Wow. I forgot about that one. That's a good one. I don't know. Now I'm totally confused. Now we have 4 vying for the final spot. We got to settle this before we have to have votes here. T.O. Halliday, Rose, Iverson. How many votes do we have? On our text board, we need to vote on this.
All right, so everyone, 610-632-0975. I'll count up the votes, and we'll get you a winner by the end of this.
All right, 610-632-0975 is also how you come in if you want to chat it up as we come down the home stretch in the Mike Missanelli Show. We're back after this. catch that story with the top 10 pizza places in the world? Right?
I did not see it.
I do this a little bit self-serving because it might be relative.
Oh?
No pizza place in the United States made the list.
Are you kidding me?
Not one.
Or am I going to have to pay to go get a good slice of pizza?
Well, here you're going to have to go. Number 10, Pizza Studio Tamaki in Tokyo, Japan.
Boy.
Number 9, Mater Fiano Romano, Italy. Number 8, Sartona Pantieri, Barcelona, Spain. Number 7, 180 Grammi, Rome, Italy. Number 6, the Pizza Bar on 38th in Tokyo, Japan.
Wow.
Number 5, I Tigli, San Bonifacio, Italy. Number 4, Bob Alchemia Aspecchia, Montepeon, Italy. Number 3, Pizzarium in Rome, Italy. Number 2, Pepe and Grani, Calazzo, Italy. And number 1, Ray, I Missanelli, Caserta, Italy.
Hell yeah.
I Missanelli, Caserta, Italy. Could this be a relative? I gotta look this up. I gotta look it up. Where's Caserta? That might be in my home area.
You got to find a way to be related to them.
Caserta, Italy. Let's see where it is. It's a city in Italy. Southern Italy. Uh-oh. It's Southern Italy. It could be my relatives. Caserta. It's in the province of Caserta in the region of Campania. My peoples are down there. Might be a derivative.
Are you going to inherit a pizza empire here?
I don't know. Number 1 pizza place in the world, I Missanelli, Massanielli. Now, it's spelled a little differently, but a close spelling could mean a relative.
There's only one way to find out.
Call them? Order pie?
No.
What?
They got to pay for a remote for us.
We gotta call. Why don't you put a takeout order? See how quickly they can get it here. Think they can get here by the end of the show?
Yeah.
Hold on a second. I Missanelli pizza restaurant, Caserta. Let's check it out here. Hold on a second. I got the website up here. Let's see how much we got for a pizza. I Missanelli. Francesco Martucci. Oh, here's our menu, Ray. Let's see what we got. It doesn't have. Oh, damn it. All right, here we go. Vigilonzione de tutti. Pizzi. Here we go. Pizze. Pizzi. A pizza a tre temperature. Vapore 100 degrees, frita 180 degrees, forno 400 degrees. It has the crema de pomodoro, arrosto, oliva canziani, presito slow of fuf, alice, pesto de aglio orsino, capera de salina presidio. This is all in the pizza. And here's what it means. Cream of roasted tomatoes, olives of Calazzo, anchovies, pesto of wild garlic, capers of salina, and oregano.
Lost me on the anchovies.
Let me see how much it is. 12 pounds. I mean, 12.
Not bad.
Hold it, 12 euros. I'm sorry, 12 euros. That's cheap.
Yeah, that's pretty cheap.
That is. Let's see. You got the Assoluto de Pomodoro for 13.50 euros. This is all, oh man, this looks fabulous.
All right. I'll go talk to sales, get a remote out there, see if we can.
Give him a call. Give him a call. Hey, let's see if we get a phone number. I'd like a pizza, please.
Says the hours are currently closed.
Oh, they're closed. Oh, of course they're closed. Right?
Monday.
It's past dinner time.
All right, so Thursday they'll be open from 12 to 3.
They got the calzone there.
So if we're going to make this call, we have to make it on a Thursday or a Friday.
This place looks amazing, man.
Reservations required.
Yeah, see that? They got a lot of stuff on their menu. Fiori di zucca al quadrato. That's cream of sautéed zucchini and fior di latte cheese after baked pumpkin flowers, terra de lavo saffron mayonnaise, marinated smoked mussels.
You kind of lost me with the mayonnaise.
Well, I'm sure the mayonnaise isn't like Hellman's. It's like special Italian mayonnaise. Saffron mayonnaise. Terra de Lavoro saffron mayonnaise. What could that be? Man, this looks delectable. Number 1 pizza place in the world. Right here. I'm Missanelli.
I'm going to go down to Angelo's. I'll be fine. I'll be all right.
All right, back to the text board.
All right.
What are we feeling?
We're tallying up the votes right now, this 5th spot. And I'm taking the votes from when we said we were starting to tally the votes instead of through this entire text board, because scrolling through everything we got today would be a lot. Currently, of the texts that we've received to the end of the show, Roy Halladay has 0 votes.
Roy Halladay's out.
Allen Iverson has received 2 votes.
Allen Iverson received 2 votes.
Pete Rose has received 4 votes.
Okay.
And T.O. has also received 4 votes.
Oh, we need to break a tie. So it looks like Halladay and Iverson are going to be out. It's between T.O. and Pete Rose for the 5th slot. And hopefully we can get that by the time we get out of here. Again, the Phillies play tonight, and it'll be it looks like a total mismatch. Let me see if it was early on. It was minus 225 Phillies. It still is. San Diego plus 185. The Phillies are minus 225. Waldron against Wheeler. Waldron is a call up for the minor leagues, and you know that by gods. He's wearing number 61, but he does have a knuckleball. He's a 28-year-old rookie, Ray.
Yeah, it's the DiCaprio rule. He's a rookie over the age of 25.
Well, they must be really desperate for starting pitching to call this guy up.
I'm telling you, though, this lineup against a knuckleballer kind of scares me.
All right, let's look at
the way they just,
Let's look at his statistics. He has started 32 games in his minor league career. He has pitched 188 innings. He has given up 184 hits, 104 runs, 30 home runs. But he does have 164 strikeouts in 188 innings pitched.
This is majors numbers right here.
The knuckleball, no, he hasn't been in a major.
Hey, he's had 2 years of experience.
He has?
Yeah.
This is a major league? How long is he with the Padres?
Yeah, this is the first time he's pitching this season.
Those are his career stats in the majors?
Yeah, 32 starts in the majors.
Oh, well.
188.
I wasn't privy to any of his starts, frankly.
Yeah, he's not that good, but I think he went down and developed the knuckleball as a survival tool here.
Is that what it is?
That's what it was.
That the word on this guy?
If I remember I think there was a story about him in The Athletic earlier this season.
Really?
How he has started the knuckleball. Or he had started, I guess he had started last year. Now he's become the last knuckleballer. So last year he threw it, and then he's really tried to hone into it.
Okay, so a right-hander, which means, do we have a lineup yet? Is Bryce Harper in the lineup?
We do not.
No lineup yet?
Not
the
yet.
suspense. Will Bryce Harper be in the lineup against the right-handed knuckleballer? Kepler in left, Marsh in center. Will Bryce or Kemp be at first base tonight? Oh, I hate to deprive my man Kempy of 4 at-bats tonight. Come on, Otto. Get in there. Get loose.
We got the text that was kind of reflecting what I was just saying. The Phillies do seem to struggle against no-name pitchers, so I'm sure this guy's going to look like a Cy Young candidate.
I don't
tonight.
think so. I think the Phillies will waffle them tonight. Yeah, first of all, how many innings do you think this guy's going to pitch?
I hope you're right on this one.
Yeah, Wheeler's not going to let this team beat him with that pitch starting.
Well, that's a good point. They might still win the game.
Yeah, Wheeler will be lights out tonight.
Just the way some of these guys are swinging right now.
Yeah, I get it. All right. Anyway, Fanatic deal of the week. 2 single-day wristbands for the price of 1 for the Funplex in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. You'll enjoy limited access to indoor and outdoor rides, the Splashpacks Water Park, 1 hour of bowling, and a $5 arcade card. Bill in Colarulo has been to this place. He gives it a thumbs up. You can get this exclusive offer while supplies last at 975thefanatic.com/details. I said it again.
I'm telling you, we got to make the webpage.
I said it again. This is unbelievable. I have a brain cramp when it comes to this. /deals.
You're a man about the details,
What is wrong
Mike.
with me?
You like the details.
My brain is like going kablooey on me.
I don't know what it is. I think now it's become a mental block for you, though.
It really has.
The word deal.
I see the word deals in front of me, and I say details.
Do you want me to put the word details on tomorrow's sheet?
I think you should put details on there, and I'll say deals.
Let's see if it works. All right, so I'll do that for tomorrow. All
right.
Because that page also has to be updated because it still had the Flyers drafting on. I noticed that.
Yes, it did. The draft. How was the draft party, by the way? Was it a success?
Sounded like a roaring success.
I was listening to a lot of it, actually. They had a lot of voices on that.
They did have a lot of people involved.
They had Kincade on there. They had Martinez. They had Tim Saunders. They had Jim Jackson. They had Todd Fedoruk. There were a lot of voices on there.
They were cycling through, yes.
Fedoruk was advocating the big winger, by the way. As you might.
Does that surprise you?
As you might understand.
We've got a close here on the, or almost a close here on the voting.
Oh, we do? Okay. So let's update it.
So Halliday's still without a vote.
Halliday's out. I crossed him out already.
Iverson has received 1 vote.
1 vote.
So now he's up to 3.
Okay. T.O. and Rose.
Pete Rose has received 6 votes.
6 votes for Rose.
T.O. is up to 9 votes.
Looks like T.O.'s going to take it.
It does look like T.O.'s going to end up taking this one unless we get a massive batch of Rose votes in the next 2 minutes. Can I be like Kornacki? Who's the guy? Steve Kornacki? Is that who it is at the board?
Steve Kornacki, yeah.
Yeah, just like we got a lot of votes still out in Delaware County and Montgomery County.
By the way, Unfiltered is coming up, and there was an ethical dilemma that we could squeeze in here before we get out of here. We were offered tickets to the weekend show by somebody who works for the weekend way back in February when Bill was a part of the show. Because Bill has abandoned us and now has his own show Unfiltered with Ricky Bo and Silvana, are we still required to invite Bill to the weekend concert? This is not quite the same dilemma of playing music on a golf course, but it is pretty close.
I mean, it's pretty difficult for, I guess, the ethics of it. I mean, you know my answer.
Your answer would be no.
Yeah, no.
He abandoned us, and so he abandons all benefits of this show.
Correct.
The weekend, the guy who works for the weekend is a big listener of the show.
Yes.
Our show.
Yes. So, in my vote, I mean, we could get an arbitrator to settle this one too, but I would say that.
Now, first of all, you do know that weasel invited Ricky Bo to play golf before he did me.
It's true.
So, am I supposed to reciprocate and say, hey, Bill, would you like to still join us for the weekend?
I mean, again, I'm going to say no, but maybe I'm not the best voice here.
No, he's out.
Okay.
He's out.
Looking at the YouTube chat here to see if because, you would think they would stand up for him.
Had he invited me to play golf, that would have been different. But, he's...
Yeah, Colby's saying no. Bill's not a foxhole guy.
Yeah, he's not a foxhole guy.
So,
just ethically, he should have invited me to play golf.
Right, so we don't have to go with him.
Yeah. All right. Well, in any event, stay tuned because Unfiltered is coming up next. Thanks, everybody, for listening and calling the show today and putting your texts. I had a lot of texts today. We really appreciate that. We'll be back at it tomorrow, same time, and as Jody Mack used to say, same bat channel. Everybody have a great rest of the night. We'll talk to you tomorrow.